complete. Main conversion score penalties. And that win against Melbourne. Lines up the kick. Slight angle. 20 metres out. Left foot kick, in he comes. Brisbane 6, Canberra 0. 3.5 played first half here on ABC Sport off the SMS 0467 920 222. Tam Vegas says this was set before the try. Don't worry about Reece Walsh. It's Stags the Raiders have to worry about. There you go. That was quite prophetic from you, Tam Vegas. Raiders won't win under Klein, says Gavo from Carbo. Of course, the rep actually Klein. There's been a spot on the officiating across this weekend, gives you the first week of the finals, and I'm sure the Raiders and Ricky Stewart will be none too pleased with that early decision that Ash Klein did make. However, there's still 76 minutes left in this game. Time to turn things around. Set after points as Walters feeds it back to Carrigan. Broncos out of their own end. They haven't beat this part of the ground yet so far, given they got the footy from that Canberra error. Incorrect play the ball. This is their first time coming out of their own end with ball in hand. 15 out, 20 in from the western side. Played there, Ricky to Pakes. Off here to Shibasaki, back from that club-imposed suspension where he broke team protocols for drinking a couple of weeks ago. And now big tackle there from Papali'i, forcing Jensen all the way back. Slammed him now hard on his back. 25 out, now Payne Haas tries to thrust them forward. He can't offload, wrapped up there by Fogarty and also Papali'i. 35 out, 20 in western side. As on this last play, the kick does come from Ben Hunt. Trickles down towards the fullback Kyo Weeks. It's his first carry of the game here for the Canberra Raiders, and he's claimed there by Jensen. I'll start a new set from there, the Canberra Raiders, 30 out from their own line at Northern End. Broncos 6, Canberra 0 the scoreline here. 4.5 played in this first half on ABC Sport. And there's the run from Stewart. Dummy half doing the work there. Ethan Strange sends it left-hand side of the park. Brought down 20 in from the eastern side is Sabelio Tamale. They go towards the halfway now, and this will be second last play for Canberra. Hudson Young over halfway. You get a big oof as he's hit there by a couple of those Broncos in defence. Last play, kick from Fogarty as Canberra ends the set. High and long down towards that 10-metre line on the chest of Karapani, and the Broncos go back on the attack, Louis. They have a 6-0 lead here in Canberra. 6 played first half.
Yeah, that's exactly what Canberra needed. They needed to get through a really good defensive set, which they did. They get through a nice set coming out of their own end and get to a kick. They just get back into Canberra Raiders style football now, and they're just going to try and force a mistake. They'll get a little bit of field position. I'm sure they'll worry the Brisbane Broncos.
That's dummy half. Walters slips over, tries to gain a few more metres here as Horsburgh, and also in there Zach Hosking tackling him. Hosking, former Bronco, now a unicorn. Plays marker. Broncos roll on here. Carrigan over the 30-metre line now. 20 in from the western side. Pakes back here to Walsh. Kicks from just behind the 40. And this will skip towards the touchline. Beautifully placed by Reece Walsh. Broncos 40-20. They'll have possession. 16 out from Canberra's line. And they lead 6-0. Touchline we go, John Gibbs.
Well, he led the charge there, Reece Walsh, too. He was hopping down the field. He knew exactly what he had done. The fist pump. Billy Wallace has been hurt, and you mentioned that, but he seems like he hurt his ribs, maybe.
As he fell over in the tackle, yeah. And so Payne Haas will tap, or receives the tap here. 10 out from that northern line, he's tackled. Pakes across the right-hand side, Carrigan. Walsh, inside ball. Piakura almost gets there to within 8 metres now of Canberra's line. He stands in the Horsburgh tackle. Play it now for Pakes. Broncos deep in Raiders territory. Carrigan, Hunt, dummies, now finds Walters. He sits on the inside now. Feeds it back. No, it was forward. Says ref Ash Klein. He's also picked out perhaps the Shibasaki the shepherd. Yeah, so that's the issue there. Penalty Canberra. 7 gone in this first half on ABC Sport.
Yeah, no, just have a look at it now, the replay.
Yeah,
Shibasaki actually takes out Fogarty. He doesn't give him a chance, and then he's the man who gets the ball back.
So, penalty count 1-0. Canberra with the first penalty of the game. They trail 6-0. 7.5 played here in this opening 40 on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis and John Gibbs. It's a second chance final, sure, but it just feels like the real thing just about. The atmosphere here is palpable, incredible. Horsburgh on a centre field run, 40 out. Now plays it. Starling across to Hudson Young. He debuted 2019. Didn't play in that finals campaign. Of course, they were beaten by the Roosters in the GF that year. Through hands, Fogarty now Weeks. He shows some explosive pace. Takes on Shibasaki, almost gets loose. He'll play it now, 35 shy of Brisbane's line, 5 in western side. Dummy half goes Starling, dragged down by Walters. Ball comes loose. Brisbane forced the... No, it's going to be 6 more here, Canberra. So it was lost back here through the Canberra Raiders. Hudson Young needs an offload. Can't find one. 25 out, 20 in from that far touchline. Starling back to Big Red, Corey Horsburgh. And he goes on an angled run now through centre field, tackled by Haas and also Jensen on that red paint at the 20-metre line. Starling, now again Fogarty. Tarpany, the captain for the Raiders, stands in a 2-man tackle. And this will be play 4 coming up here, Canberra. 12 out, right-hand side of the post. Their best look of the game so far. Fogarty to Horsburgh, nailed by Piakura, and the ball's come loose. Brisbane does force the error this time. And they keep a 6-0 lead at the Broncos. Early on here, Luke Lewis, 9 gone first half.
He goes down and he throws the offload, but he's saying that he called held and he didn't hold the ball. So it wasn't really an error. It was an offload to go backwards, but he'd already called held on that play. So that's changeover. But the Canberra Raiders, they look dangerous when they're offloading that ball and they're promoting that ball out the back. So you've got a big boo now because we'll replay on the big screen. They're looking at what we're looking at.
Scrum feed Brisbane, touchline John Gibbs.
Well, that should be either a penalty to the Brisbane Broncos or I played the ball by Corey Horsburgh.
Yes, end of the set would mean it would be a, play the ball, not a scrum. A change-up. So, anyway, 25 out from that southern line. Played here by Karapani. Open side right they come. And this is Piakura. He's tackled 35 out. Swung here through centre field. Ricky was waiting for it. Walsh there as well. And he's taken high there by Corey Horsburgh. Not high enough, though, as he's played it now 8 metres shy of the halfway line. On their second last play now for the Broncos. Hand in the air from referee Ashley Klein. Last play Brisbane, 6-0 leaders. Pakes, finds Ricky. Hunt was, it's going to be here going forward the way of the forward pass. So Hunt was dealt with, but it was a forward pass from the Broncos. So it will be... is that a penalty for verbal? So there you go. So it was going to be a counter ball anyway, and now penalty going their way. Gives you down to you. It's 6-0.
Yeah, and the referees won't tolerate that, so they were none too pleased. So a little bit of chat, and Ashley Klein immediately blew the whistle. So a great opportunity again for Canberra to get into a good field position. And when they get down there, they are looking dangerous. They're very fast.
11 minutes played, first half. You're on ABC Sport, the qualifying final. Finals footy on the national broadcaster. 6-0 is the Broncos lead. Tarpany off the back of the tap here. And he's taken down there by Carrigan and also Pates. Also in there playing pass. Fogarty runs it now. Quick half a dozen. Shares it with Hudson Young. Collected there by Jordan Ricky in the black headgear. 22 out the Raiders. Attacking the Broncos line. Southern end. Across they go. Fogarty, Hosking with the break. Not quite. And he's stopped from behind there by Piakura. Dummy half Starling. Kyo Weeks. Sets back on the inside there of Walters. And now he's playing. Also there Piakura and Jensen. By the way, right hand side of the sticks. Couple of plays left. Canberra. They trail 6-0. Fogarty. Back here again. Tarpany. Straightens toward the post. Carrigan is there. So too Pakes. Last play. Green Machine. 2 out from that southern line. Starling to find Fogarty. Kicks off the outside. The boot. And Hudson Young flies through. And scores the try. The home side heads back and there are green flags waving here at Canberra Stadium. 6-4, kick to come Canberra. 12 gone first half on ABC Sport, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, well, they get their opportunity, Canberra. That's all they needed. One down in the right end of the field. And they get a beautiful little kick through. Well, Jamal Fogarty gets a nice bounce there in Hudson Young. I'll tell you what, he just runs a beautiful hole. As soon as he sees that ball in the air, he didn't want to let it bounce again. And dives, grabs it with 2 hands and slams it down. He gets the Canberra Raiders right back in this game. So, good work by the Canberra Green Machine.
Touchline, John Gibbs.
There's a great try scorer, Hudson Young. That's his 11th for the season. They love that one. Everyone goes over to congratulate him. But a beautiful kick there from Jamal Fogarty. Wasn't the best start to the game by Jamal. So good to see that he settled down. And I got to say, I think they needed that because they had good field position. They got a couple of penalties. They needed to do something, and they've got over the line.
said, played in the finals 3 years ago, Hudson Young, 2022. Didn't play in 2019, which was his debut year. Of course, has become a representative player for New South Wales and Australia. And now Jamal Fogarty places the ball on the tee, 22 metres out, 11 in from the eastern side. To level the scores at 6-all. Get to your text shortly, 0467 920 222. A respectful hush falls on Canberra Stadium while their own player lines up his kick. Jamal Fogarty, who's off to Manly next year, of course. Take over Ali Cherry Evans' famous number 7. Deadlock things at 6-all. Fogarty, right foot kick on the angle. Up go the flags. 13 played, first half, Raiders 6, Broncos 6 in the qualifying final. 0467 920 222. Every finals game so far has been great from start to finish, as Dazza in Perth. Is this the greatest season ever for quality and excitement? Overall, it's been unpredictable and crazy big
definitely
comebacks.
Been very, very unpredictable. There's been a lot of comebacks, and the sides that we didn't expect to be there come back, like the Panthers as well. There's been a lot of stuff going on in this competition this year.
I'll get to Lindsay's or the Rivers scores in a second, maybe at half-time, Lindsay, if you can hold off for us then. Paul and Harrison, thanks for the quality call. Excellent way of capping off the weekend. Keep up the great work, Paul and Harrison at Ingliston, Queensland. It's the Raiders back out of their own end here, having scored the try through Hudson Young and the Jamal Fogarty conversion. Played there by the winger Tamale. Now Tarpany, no real gain for him. It will be a penalty going the Raiders' way. So again, just discipline Broncos defence. This time, it will remain a 6-all scoreline. See exactly what happened there as Carrigan comes in and just sort of gets one around the ribs of Joe Tarpany.
Yeah, I couldn't really get a good vision on that either. It's a little bit glary on the big screen. But it's a penalty there for Canberra Raiders. Get a nice little easy leg up. And they're going to get a tap pretty much right on the halfway line here. So another good opportunity for Canberra.
So penalty count 3-0 so far in the game. 6-all scoreline. Raiders Broncos here on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis and John Gibbs as Josh Papali'i gets over halfway. There was concern about his ankle injury. Right just inside Broncos territory. Fogarty shares it now with Hosking, wrapped up by Ricky and also in there Carrigan. 40 out, 20 in from the western side. On play 2 here for the Canberra Raiders. Corey Horsburgh, bright pink boots, bright red hair, and he's playing 30 outs to the field. Play it here at the 14-minute mark. Dummy half Starling to Papali'i, runs the ball here. Dummies and now runs into Carrigan. Offloads back to Starling, feeds it back now for his fullback Weeks. He explodes away. He's too quick for Hunt. Ricky tries to stop him, does so now. 20 out, 20 in eastern side. Starling goes blindside left. It's with Hudson Young, the try scorer. He gets rid of Ben Hunt. Offloads back here for Stewart. He darts away here. Nathan Strange run down, lost the footy. And it has actually climbed. Says, has he held the footy here, Nathan Strange? What he's actually saying. No,
He's saying he got raped, but you're not going to challenge it at the moment, not this early in the game. And nice work by Hudson Young skipping across. Keeping that ball alive is beautiful. And he's Ethan Strange now with the ball. And you're just saying it, no, it's loose go.
Can't lose the tackle, 15 minutes played here first half. Canberra 6, Brisbane 6, John Gibbs.
Well, Reece Walsh there just got in there, a little subtle one. It would have been deemed to be a loose carry. Ethan Strange disappointed, but what about the step close to the line? He's dynamite, so is Kyle Weeks.
Here they go, left-hand side of the park, the Brisbane Broncos. From that scrum, Shibasaki, 13 out from that southern line. And now getting involved, going to make something of it here is Josiah Karapani. Debuted midway through last year. Scored a try last week against Melbourne. Broncos still at the footy here. Pippin out from their own line. Played by Piakura. Comes through hands. Hunt back on the inside now for Staggs, who was their try scorer in the second minute, by the way, here at Canberra Stadium. Carrigan hits the ball at speed. Gains about 12, 13 more. And he's 7 short of the halfway on the last here for the Brisbane Broncos. Comes to Walsh. That high and long left foot kick. Hangs there a fair while. Comes down to the chest of Kyo Weeks. And the Raiders go on the attack here. 27 out from their own line at Northern and Luke Lewis. 6 all the scoreline. 16 gone first half.
Yeah, back into a bit of an arm wrestle at the moment, but Canberra Raiders are really starting to find their feet now. They're making nice inroads. They're looking sharp. And again, I think they realise that the second phase play is really causing damage to the Broncos' defence.
The Raiders neutralise that Stags try with one of their own through Hudson Young, so that's why it's 6 all. And now it's been lost out there by Tamale. That was just lost cold in the play the ball. Raiders error near halfway. 6 all. It shall remain on the sideline. John Gibbs.
Yeah, both sides making a few uncharacteristic errors. Obviously, this is a big game, but Tamale there, that character was standing there. I don't know what Tamale was doing. Just, less haste, more speed, whatever, because that was a bad one, and it gives Brisbane, who'd been struggling a little bit, an opportunity to go onto the attack with good field position.
Pat and Tiff have just climbed a cliff. It wasn't supposed to rhyme. To get some reception at Leather Jacket Bay in Eden, watching Wales and cheering for the mighty Green Machine. Thanks each to the broadcast, lads. Thank you, Pat and Tiff, on top of that cliff. Well, they go right-hand side, the Broncos. 5 in from the eastern side, 35 away from the Canberra line. Set restart here for the visitors. 6 all scoreline. Ricky is enveloped there by Pupperley and Horsburgh. 25 out, 20 in from that far side of the ground. Carrigan receives the ball. Back on the inside now for Corey Jensen. And he's claimed 15 out. Hakes looks left but goes right. Hunt onto it now with Ricky. Tries to shove away Horsburgh and Strange on the edge there as well. The Broncos will play it 10 away with a couple of plays left in this set. Hunt darts back to the right-hand side. Too fast for Horsburgh. Shares it now with Stags. Tries to shake and bake there on Strange and Pupperley. And he's brought to the turf here. 5 away deep in that northeastern quarter of Canberra Stadium. Open side left they go. Hunt back to Carrigan and he's put down. Now it's the last. 5 out from the uprights, northern end. Hakes for the Broncos. Now Ben Hunt. On here Walters. Lost it in the tackle of Timacor. Ball comes loose. Picked up by Brisbane. 6 more for the Broncos. 6 more Broncos. Carapani. He's 10 out. Darts back on the infield here. So some more injustice here perhaps from the Canberra Raiders. Walsh. He dummies the pass to Shibasaki. He is half a minute shy, Reece Walsh. Play it now left-hand side of the post. Going from dummy half. Hakes tries to borrow his way through. Ash Klein says no dice.
That's a penalty there to the Canberra Raiders. He uses his mate as a shield, and that's why Canberra get the penalty. And I reckon...
So, penalty count 4-0 Brisbane, by the way, Louis. 19 going first half. Take us back to that earlier pass in that set.
Yeah, I reckon that pass was forward, but might go down to Johnny Gibbs. He might have a little bit more of a...
Go, Gibbsy.
Well, right in front of me, it was forward for your life, and then he picked up and they're waving sixth again. It's a fast game, but the officials have got to somehow keep up, and I'm not blaming Ash Klein for that, but it was right under the nose of Kieran Irons. He should have picked it up straight away.
Like it or not, the officiating will be getting well, it's become the narrative in some ways. That's some great finals across the weekend, but there has been, I think, subplots to all the games as far as refereeing and bunker and line judge decisions. Here they go. Touch those decisions. Here's Hudson Young, 40 out, 20 in from the eastern side. Canberra on the attack, and now here's one of the early carries from Sebastian Chris. Past 100 games mark earlier this year. 7 tries in his last 8 games. Horsburgh offloads back to Starling here on this second last for the Raiders. They're still 40 out, southern end, attacking Brisbane's line. And it is with their fullback Kyle Wings. Played to Starling. Goes short side left. There's a running kick from Strange. Hangs in the air for Walsh. Tracks it back towards his own goal line here. And the Broncos will start a new set deep in that southeastern corner of Canberra Stadium. 7 out from their own line. Can they thrust their way forward here with Mariner, as he will now be playing it off to Walters' dummy half. And now Carapani on a centre field run here, still only 15 out from his own line. Walters, ball comes loose here. Shibasaki went to pick off Hosking, and again Ash Klein deeming that it will be a scrum feed here for the Raiders.
There have been a lot of errors in this game, especially in the first,
he just fumbled the ball, didn't he?
The first 20 minutes. Shibasaki, he just had a look, really. Then he just couldn't bring that ball in. And then you got Zach Hosking, who was going to trying to pick that ball up on the run so he could just play full advantage, but he knocked it on as well. So that's why we've got a scrum feed on the right-hand side of the field.
Michael's walking up Mount Taylor here in Canberra, hoping Canberra can get up today. Here they go, left-hand side of the scrum. Horsburgh back to Fogarty on the overlap here. Strange darts in field, takes Ricky with him. Ricky might just get him. He's only 3 out here, Ethan Strange. Deep in that far corner of Canberra Stadium. Opportunity here for the Raiders. Set restart 2, so a full set. 8 out from Brisbane's line, southern end. It's Young, the try scorer. He'll play it to Starling. Open side right, Fogarty. Inside ball to his captain, Tarpany. Big fend there on Pakes, and now stopped by Fiacura. He's 2.5 metres shy, attacking Brisbane's line. Starling dummy half. Low ball, Fogarty. Back here for Hoskins on a full 360 and a big Shibasaki tackle. 5 out right-hand side of the uprights. Flat ball comes to Horsburgh. Puts it back to Fogarty. He was unmarked, but charging towards that defensive line. He stopped 3 metres shy. Starling back here again now to Young. He puts in the kick. Ricochets there for Sebastian Chris, who falls on the footy and slides in to score. Seb Chris puts the Raiders in front. 10-6, kick to come Canberra. 18 left first half. ABC Sport with two-time premiership player Luke Lewis.
Yeah, well, how good are the Canberra Raiders looking when they're up this end of the field, but there wasn't a whole lot going on. And then Hudson Young, he just has a little bit of a look. He can feel like he can get this kick through, gets on the left foot. And then Sebastian Chris, he just reacts to the movement there of Hudson Young, picks the ball up at absolute lightning speed and scores a great try. The Canberra Raiders, they take off, they get in front. And what about the sound of that crowd when he scored that try? Phenomenal.
What I meant was about Seb Chris. He scored 7 tries in 8 games previously. Then only 1 since that point after the first 8 rounds. That was in round 23. John Gibbs on the sideline.
And most importantly, that's his first try in a finals match. This is his 3rd finals match, and great communication between Hudson Young and Seb Chris. But Hudson Young was a last-second decision, and because the goal line defence have been pretty good, there'd been an amazing tackle by Mohamed Shibasaki on Zach Hosking. He was able to stop him. Then they swept the ball along and kicked. So both tries from kicks, and that shows a degree of confidence if you're willing to kick in behind the line and risk a 7-tackle restart.
Hey Gibbs, Ricky Stewart's down there on the sideline. Is he usually coaching the sideline?
Yes, he does. He always comes down here. He came out and he's patting his players on the bottom, and he is into it, absolutely into it. But I got to say, he is calm. Even after they first scored, he wasn't showing any excess duress.
Fogarty's conversion here is identical to his previous one. 21 metres out, or 22 out really, 10 in from the eastern side to convert the Sebastian Chris try. 12-6 Canberra scoreline. Flags are up again, and so the Raiders fans here on their home deck, Canberra Stadium. 12-6 with 17 left of the break. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis and John Gibbs. Doug says over the weekend at finals, players have made errors, coaches have made errors, even commentators have made errors. Oh, I know. Why would officials be exempt from human error? Yeah, it's a good point, Doug, and that's what people always say, that you're only as good as it is a human thing. So
we can't have that many errors.
No, it's when there's a concentration of them. That's the issue. That's where it gets attention, Doug. But I think I'm usually pretty fair on the refs. I don't like the bash refs. I think it's a bit stupid. But there have been some sort of high-profile incidents across this weekend in particular. Papali'i brings it off the Broncos' defensive line. 15 out from that northern line here, with the Raiders having scored back-to-back tries through Hudson Young and Seb Chris in this first half. 16:50 left before the halftime break. Played by Horsburgh. Starling links up with Tarpany, gains a quick dozen here, and he stopped 35 out, 20 in from the eastern side of Canberra Stadium. Horsburgh, jinking run there on Paddy Carrigan, and now stands in the Pakes tackle. He's released now 7 shy of the halfway. Starling corrects the left for Hudson Young, escapes the Hunt tackle, takes on Ricky, and he's just inside Brisbane Broncos territory here. The Raiders on last play, 12-6 their lead. Kick goes up from Ethan Strange, up there for Reece Walsh in the bright late afternoon sunshine here in the capital, and Walsh can't get out in open space. He's slammed to the turf by Hosking, 20 out from his own line, 20 in left inside.
Yeah, well, Canberra Raiders are doing a really good job after points as well. The way they get through their sets, straight through the middle of the field, get to halfway.
Shimasaki tried to steal some yardage here. It's going to be penalty going the Broncos' way.
Just as I was giving Canberra a rap, they get through their set nicely and they come up with a really good defensive set to start, and they give away a penalty 30 metres out from the Broncos line. So Benny Hunt will get the chance to kick upfield and put some pressure back on the Canberra side.
It's the first time they've had a penalty in this game, so it's 4-1 the penalty count the Raiders' way, and the scoreline is 12-6. On the touchline, John Gibbs. About to use short actually, Gibbs. You wait for this set to play out here for the Broncos. They tap quickly, 30 out from that northern line. Played there, Piakura. Dummy half Pakes across to Walters. Shares it with Hunt. They shift it to the right-hand side here again with Staggs brought down to the Strange tackle. Went to take off there.
Strange is still down too.
Yeah, Strange is still down, but he's just a bit confused, I think, as far as whether it was time off or now Ash Klein does put his whistle on the play. He's just having a chat. In case there's an HIA for Ethan Strange. Down to you, Gibbsy.
Yeah, and that's a bit of a worry, but they're talking there. They're having a conversation. He's staying, but an issue for Brisbane is Payne Haas. He came off the field after about 20 minutes only. That's a very short stint for him, so we'll check on him. Obviously, there's some concern about him.
Quarter an hour left in this first half here at Canberra Stadium. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis and John Gibbs. Broncos on the attack. Walsh first receiver. And he's put down by Tarpany and also Hudson Young. 15 out, 20 in eastern side. Going to be 6 more here. Set restart for the ruck infringement going the Broncos' way. And now the player, Hetherington, slips over there for the Broncos. He's Manly bound as well next year to the Seagulls, Hetherington. Now it comes back. Ben Hunt off to Piakura. And he's tackled 7 short of the uprights, northern end. And this is only play. It's set restart again here for the Broncos. So a full set inside the 10-metre line that the Raiders are defending. And it's Carrigan playing it now. Pakes back to Hunt. Has options, directs traffic. Passing behind there for Piakura. He's diving, still 5 shy of that Raiders goal line. Broncos here dangerous. They trail 12-6. Comes back. Hetherington reaching. He's a metre shy. Canberra's goal on the fence under all kinds of pressure. Pakes back to Hunt. Spreads it wide here. Staggs off to Mariner, who runs in, plants it down deep in that northeastern corner of Canberra Stadium, and the Broncos hit back. Gee whiz, what a finals game this is. 12-10, kick to come Bronx with 14 left in the first half on ABC Sport. Luke Lewis.
Yeah, well, Canberra just happened to do too much defence there. They give away a penalty. The Broncos come down, a couple of set restarts, and then Benny Hunt sets up the right edge field beautifully and uses Reece Walsh. So the Canberra Raiders defence come up and in as if they're going to get him. And it's just a quick little tip on from Katoni Staggs to find Dean Mariner in open space and really just had to run and put the ball down pretty simply in that corner. But nice strike there from the Brisbane Broncos. 12-10.
44th NRL game, first career final. Dean Mariner, John Gibbs, and a try as well.
Yeah, good work there by Reece Walsh on the outside, but Tony Staggs, beautiful hands, and we saw how important in some of the games where having a centre who can pass on the outside well. Beautiful stuff there from Reece Walsh, and in particular Tony Staggs. And Dean Mariner, he's a try-scoring machine, and he sprinted away. The overlap was created, and over he went in that northeastern corner.
9 tries from 17 games for Dean Mariner in his 2025 campaign. Both teams just want this so desperately. We know that 19 of the last 24 premiers have come from finishing top 4 and winning in week 1 of the finals. Melbourne's already there. They know it all too well. Canberra or Brisbane to join the Storm in the top 2 seeds in the premiership race. Sideline conversion here for Reece Walsh. 12.5 on the clock before half-time. He nailed the first one. That was slightly easier. It's the right side for a left foot kick here, Louis. In or out? Out. Here goes Walsh. Holds up in that breeze and carries, and it's over. Walsh 2 from 2, and we're deadlocked again. 12 points all. Raiders Broncos here in the qualifying final on ABC Sports. Ray in Caloundra. question for the team. Where did the NRL get the refs from? No, I'm not going to just keep bashing the refs, Ray, but thank you for your text. There's a few others here. Andrew in Wellers Hill in Brisbane says, how many tries come from lack of discipline? How hard is it to keep your mouth shut? Hunt should know better. I feel like Wayne Bennett in early 90s. Andrew, walking my dog up Wellers Hill in Brisbane. Thank you, Andrew. Jason from Gloucester. I was whinging last night about the mistakes made by the refs. It's happening again now. Yes, they're human, but honestly, I don't go for the Raiders. So, anyway, as I said, it'll be something to be discussed out of this weekend of footy, unfortunately. We had 4 games of footy to talk about, but this game will and truly alive. 12 points all. Canberra, Brisbane here on ABC Sports. The shadows grow longer across the eastern side of the ground, and there is a run now from Ben Tulty out there for the Brisbane Broncos. He's off the bench, and now Ricky, tackled by Strange, 40 out, 20 in, eastern side. Pakes a flat ball, finds Hetherington. Quick 10-metre gain here for Hetherington. Over halfway he goes. Last play Brisbane as Pakes goes short side right. Hunt shapes the kick. Struggles with a tackle there of Mariotta. Sends it back left-hand side. This big shape here does come from Walsh. Off to Shibasaki. And he cut a ball out here for his winger in Karapani. No, he steps in field. And now Walters. Kick comes off the Raiders' bogey. Still the last, says Ref Ash Klein for the Broncos. Loose ball there. Coming in hot, Hetherington. He did beat Chris to the football. And there'll be changeover on halfway. Hetherington's run down by Horsburgh. And also in there was Starling. And so it will be a Canberra ball. Right smack bang on halfway, Louis. And it's 11 left first half. Raiders 12, Broncos 12.
Yeah, well, they had no idea that it was last play. I'm assuming the Brisbane Broncos, they were over on that right edge. Ben Hunt decides to run, keep the ball alive, which I thought was fine. But when they come over to this left side, they couldn't come up with a kick. And here the Canberra Raiders are getting the ball right on halfway.
Mariotta, here they go. Tarpany in a 3-man tackle. 35 out centre field. Play it there, Starling. Off to Hosky. And he gains a quick 10, 11 more metres here. Does the back rower. Tackled by Carrigan. 22 out. Weeks puts in his kick. They chase it now. Karapani watches it go dead over that southern dead ball line here. So restart from 20 and 7 tackles for the Brisbane Broncos. It's 12 all the scoreline. 10.5 left first half. Sideline, John Gibbs.
And that's why in this situation you've got to be brave to put a kick in, because the ground is fast, and unless it's perfect, unless there's precision, it can easily run over the dead ball line and you give the opposition a 7-tackle restart. And Brisbane the last 5 minutes have really been warming into this contest.
Half an hour in, scores dead level, 12 all. Broncos out of their own end. Mariner scored the last try of the game. Tackled 7 short of halfway by Hudson Young. Pakes off here to Ricky. He skips back on the inside there of Mariotta. Stands in the Chris tackle, and also Young in there as well. Now gets up to play it back here for the Broncos. On tackle 3. They shift it right to left. Low ball there for Shibasaki, came from Hunt, and he steamrolls Tim McCaw. And Shibasaki now, his origin debut year, playing finals, 30 out from that northern line. Carrigan shares it now to Hetherington, nowhere to go. Great tackle down there, came from Hudson Young. And this will be last play Brisbane. They keep going right-hand side this time. As the kick from Walsh up in the air, sets the task on the wing. Down there for Tamale, and he's dragged back in the Brisbane or the Canberra in-goal area. So that'll be line drop out Raiders, repeat set Brisbane, 12 all the scoreline, Luke Lewis, 9 left first half.
Yeah, good work there by the Brisbane Broncos. They went over that little that right side, put up a little short side kick. I think it was Reece Walsh that comes up with it. Really good chase there from Katoni Staggs and Dean Mariner. And you can see Tamale, he gets the ball, he tries to get down, but as he's going down, they just hold him up enough to pull him back in goal. So good defence.
To Gibbsy shortly as the line dropout goes a good 65 metres on the fly. Ben Hunt retrieves it, shares it back here for Ben Tulty, and he stopped 42 out from the Canberra line. So 8 metres his own side of halfway, inside Raiders territory. Carrigan over halfway, he goes into Fogarty, and also in there to make the tackle is Morgan Smithy, the Englishman. Broncos here. With this repeat set, Walters makes the break. He's darts toward the corner here. The pass does come loose, and that came off the chest there of Fiacura. So that is a Canberra ball, 10 out from that northern line. Scores still level, 12 all Raiders Broncos. Qualifying final, 8 left first half. touchline, John Gibbs.
Well, that was a beautiful break there by Billy Walters, but unfortunately, if he'd had the winger Josiah Karapani off his shoulder, they might have scored, but he threw a pressure pass on the outside to Piakura. He couldn't take the ball, and he's chastising himself, Billy Walters, because you don't get that many opportunities in a game like this.
I love being in here, Louis. I love seeing the aerial shot as well as the stadium, just packed with mostly green fans on this pleasant Canberra day. As Chris, it's going to be a penalty here going Canberra's way.
Yeah, another little simple let-off here for Canberra. And I think it was Benny Hunt. Yeah, he just couldn't help himself there, but that's all right. That happens. For the Canberra Raiders, they'll get a nice, simple little leg upfield. You get a good kick in here, and they might get a nice look at the Brisbane Broncos line.
Penalty count 5-1 Canberra as they find touch on the eastern side of the ground. The half-playing arena has the shadows coming across from the west behind us, the setting sun. And here is Mariota. He's forced back in a three-man tackle. He'll play it 9 short of halfway. Starling to the left-hand side. Inside ball comes from Fogarty off to Morgan Smithies. His second year at the Raiders since coming down from Wigan, the Englishman. Right now for Starling. Horsburgh releases here to Fogarty, and now Hosking backs his way into Walters. This will be a couple of plays left here for the Raiders. 30 out from Brisbane's line. 12 all score line. 6.5 to the break. Smithy's involved again. Wrapped up there by Corey Pakes and Paddy Carrigan. Played now Starling. Goes to his right. Open side Fogarty. Mariota is just dunked there in the tackle of Piakura. Now it's last play, Green Machine. 12 out centre field. Starling. It's a set restart here as Weeks explodes away. Loses 1-2 and slides in behind the posts. They took full advantage of that, the Canberra Raiders. Kyle Weeks didn't need 6 more. He scored very next play.
Okay, Weeks. I reckon the set restart actually makes him look up here. He's looking out to his right, and here's the set restart, and he comes back to play inside, and he goes, there's a bit of space here. Only using his speed and his footwork, and he does. He gets straight in between a couple of Brisbane Broncos players and just uses that speed and explosiveness to go straight through all those defenders and scores a beautiful try for the Canberra Raiders. And that is outstanding work and great recognition there from K.O. Weeks.
16-12, kick to come Raiders. Sideline John Gibbs.
Oh, that's a brilliant individual try in a big match in his first finals game. K.O. Weeks is over, and that was just brilliant acceleration. He dashed so quickly, and he left defenders in his wake. And what might have been 2 minutes previously, it was up the other end. Billy Walters has split them, couldn't link properly with Piakura or Karapani. The ball went down. Canberra got the ball back, and they've made them pay. A great time to score.
4:58 left of the break. Tries for the Raiders. Hudson Young 11th minute. Seb Chris 21st minute. Kyo Weeks in the 33rd. Staggs and Mariner on the board in the 2nd and 25th minutes respectively for the Brisbane Broncos. The assignment here for Jamal Fogarty couldn't be any easier, Louis. Directly in front, 11 metres out.
Yeah. You could nearly kick this one, Spriggy. I was watching you before the game.
I did make a few field goal attempts, and they were terrible. Anyway, I'll blame the breeze. There was no one here then, but somehow that affects things. 4:48 left on the clock. Fogarty comes in. He's 3 from 3. Canberra leads it again. 18-12 here. The qualifying final on ABC Sport. 0467 920 222. Sharky Simon that says, hi team, great call as usual. All the best to Maury. Sunday Wilson trying to be a referee. Yeah, great. It's the easiest sort of counterpoint to make, I suppose. It's a good job. David in Brisbane, thank you for your text. Willow in Newtown says, hi team, great call. Just want to shout out my new hero / man crush, Tobias Eric Rudolph. He didn't drop that try, and I hope he didn't drop anything in his DAX this week. Cheers from Stringers and Willow. That's an interview a few weeks ago. I did reveal a few things about that man. He's a very eccentric individual. He scored the winning or the game-sealing try last night for your Sharkies, Louis.
Yeah, he played well last night. Great try, and it's good to see the big smile on his face when he scored that try.
Raiders on the attack here. 4.5 left to the halftime break. Payne Haas back out there, by the way. So John Gibbs surely who mentioned that he only played the first 15 minutes or so initially, Payne Haas. So he's back out there before half-time as the Broncos look to stem the flow of this Canberra momentum. Hudson Young tackled, playing it now. 35 out. It's the second last. The kick comes early down towards the in-goal area, bouncing end over end and guarded dead out there by Dean Mariner. So 7 tackle set. Restart from 20 here for the Broncos. 18-12 is the Raiders lead. 3:50 left. Touchline John Gibbs.
Yeah, there must have been a concern with him because that's a very light load for Payne Haas. But the good news is he's back out there. And Josh Papali, who got a break after 27 minutes, when you consider he came in under an injury claim with an ankle injury, that was a big 27 minutes from Pups.
Speaking of breaks, I saw Staggs go for one there, as in to the defensive line. Couldn't quite get past. And now Mariner might have copped some contact there as he's marching back to his familiar wing position. Meanwhile, centre field run now from Ben Tulty. Payne Haas with a carry here, gains about 9 or 10 more. He's 30 out, 20 in western side. A couple of plays left here for the Broncos. They trail 18-12 as Ben Hunt kicks off the instep. They chase the ball to the corner here. Weeks is there in the in-goal area. And his best option is to ground it, Louis, and it'll be a line drop out Canberra.
Yeah, well, that was a bizarre one. There wasn't much doing there, really, for the Brisbane Broncos. Benny Hunt looks up, and he comes up with a beautiful little kick, and the weight is excellent. And then the quick reaction from the Brisbane Broncos to get down there, and there was not really a Canberra player expecting that at all. So lucky KO Weeks has got some speed. He gets back there and grounds that ball. But do they go for a long line drop out again?
Using that breeze behind them, it does go fairly high and long down towards Ben Hunt. Fed back here again to one of his teammates, and getting up to play it now is Ben Tulty. Play at 35 out. Hakes across to Hunt to pass. Payne Haas has put his back by Hosking and also Starling. 2 minutes left and 8 seconds here for the Broncos. Can they level things up again? And they're seesawing first half at Canberra Stadium. Mercure will play it there for Pakes. Midway through the set here for the Broncos. Inside ball comes back now to that man in Tulty. Play it now for Pakes. Centre field 22 out. Ben Hunt. Pass went behind Walsh and Ricky. Gathered by the fullback. Reese shows that lightning pace. Hosking, though, takes him around the waist up top Smithies. And this will be last play Broncos, 25 out centre field. Swung wide here to Ben Hunt. Off a step. His kick goes... kept alive there by the Broncos, but desperately battered dead by Starling. And was it deemed to be out? It'll be a 7 tackle set. They're arguing last touch here.
Well, they're challenging Reece Walsh.
The captain's challenge. The kick was on the last tackle. On-field ruling that the kick has gone out on the full. They believe it actually was touched in flight.
I thought it was kept alive. And
so they believe that they touched him first, like Corey,
It's touch
which
and
would
go.
then mean that it's out off the Raiders because the Broncos player's out.
Touch and go, but bigger news than that. Payne Haas is down with a bad foot or ankle injury, and he is in a lot of pain. I can't see him continuing, and this could have major repercussions for Brisbane, not only today, but also going forward.
Here's Chris Butler in the bunker meanwhile. It is big news for Payne Haas.
He jumped him out.
Yeah, no, but I thought it was kept alive, but hang on. Oh, so
They're looking at the touch.
Yeah, it's touched off the boot by Horsburgh.
Oh, how do you tell that? That doesn't look like it goes nowhere near it.
His hands on that ankle, playing on.
No, he wasn't.
Hey, someone just tell me where that mark was.
But when I called it live, it looked as though that was kept alive by Carapani.
The clean run to the balls, no escorts.
Okay, that's important too. Has Carapani put his toe on the line here?
Yep.
Yes.
And it is out.
Side jumps with his foot on the line, playing on.
So
Now touches the ball, which makes it out of the full. The captain's challenge is unsuccessful.
I wouldn't second guess Kieran Irons, and in this case it was Kieran Irons. I think he's Buster Redemption as well.
Yeah, Gibbsy's got his hand up down there.
Yeah,
What have you got?
Well, what I want to say is that Kieran Irons has got that one absolutely correct. That was a very, very good call, and he ruled it straight away. So it was a poor kick on the last play.
70 seconds left in this first half at Canberra Stadium. Raiders 18, Broncos 12. Canberra plays it now. A winger to Marley. Rookie of the Year contender. Re-signed till 2028 recently as well. They moved for the Dragons against the Raiders last year, late in the regular season. Now Horsburgh wrapped up 40 out from his own line. Play it there, Starling. Open side right, Hudson Young, half break, lost the ball, the tackle of Hetherington. Comes back here, and now it's lost by the Broncos in Fiacura. Goodness me. Not
In the middle, guys.
the cleanest finish to the first half, Louis, with 30 seconds left.
Stay there, stay there.
Yeah, it's been a little bit sloppy. There's been some really good play as well. A little bit sloppy, a couple of errors. Hudson Young's actually had a really good game right up into that little drop ball there. But a little bit of fatigue probably setting in. And we're going to get 2 plays here, the Brisbane Broncos. So very important the Canberra Raiders defend well.
Gibbsy, Payne Haas staying out there for now.
Yeah, staying out there for now, but he's limping heavily. If he can't be powerful, what's the use of him out there?
Here goes the Broncos ball from the scrum. Running kick from Reece Walsh down that western touchline. Weeks fields it first. He's knocked it back forward.
Play the ball. Where do you want it?
Play the ball here, Broncos. 10 out northern line as the seconds tick down. 15 left.
Okay, wait for me now.
13. Now it's time off.
Time on. No.
No.
Time on.
That was the marker there, Hudson Young, trying to just take that footy out of the Broncos. Hunt kicks to the corner. It's down there for Mariner. He's swerves his way through one would-be tackler. Played now for Staggs, and he's dying seconds of the half-time break. It's going to be a full set now if they can find an avenue to goal, although it is the last play anyway. Kick from Reece Walsh, cross field there for Karapani. Wrapped up by Raiders. Is there a grounding? I don't fancy there was, but this would be an extraordinary half-time try on the bell for the Broncos. Let's have a listen. Held up, he says. There we go. Thanks, Ash. So it remains at half-time. Canberra 18, Broncos 12. An exhilarating, enthralling, end-to-end first half of finals footy here in the nation's capital. In that first half, tries for the Broncos. Staggs scored first in the second minute. Then it was Hudson Young and Seb Chris back-to-back in the 11th and 21st minutes. And then D. Mariner scored on that right edge for the Broncos, the 25th minute. Kyo Weeks shortly thereafter with a nice individual effort behind the posts, scoring the last try of the game, the last try before the half-time break. Fogarty is 3 from 3, converting. Reece Walsh is 2 from 2. Luke Lewis, your thoughts on the first half here in Canberra?
Yeah, well, I thought the start was a little bit different. Obviously, Canberra Raiders looked really good for the first 2 plays, and then the Brisbane Broncos got their opportunity. They scored early, but it was sort of end-to-end stuff. Canberra looked good for periods. Broncos looked good for periods. It's sort of just been a couple of opportunities for both sides. Canberra probably taken one more opportunity than the Brisbane Broncos, really. But there's a few errors in that first half, so I don't think both sides will be super happy with their completion rate, but a pretty high intense game at the moment.
Yeah, it was 57% possession for the Broncos. We trailed by those 6 points at half-time. Completions, you're right, Louis, 68% Raiders, 72% Brisbane. So plenty of errors there from both sides. 3 line breaks to 1 Brisbane. Penalty count at the half-time break, 5-1 the Raiders' way as far as penalties received. And there were a further 6 ruck infringements issued throughout that first half. It's 4-2 the way of the Broncos in that way of looking at things. Raiders 18, Broncos 12. John Gibbs, your thoughts?
Well, I know there's been some mistakes, but it's also been pulsating, and the crowd has absolutely loved it. And we've had changes of lead, we've had teams coming back. Brisbane, they're almost on half-time scoring an exciting try. Karapani held up predominantly by Tom Starling. It was fantastic. He got down and kept him quiet. But I've got to tell you, the temperature's plummeted here now. It's now 7 degrees. So we are, it's 15 is actually the temperature, but it feels like 7. So it's very cold. Now, we will check on Payne Haas. They don't think it's an ankle injury, but maybe a foot injury, and it's probably unrelated to why he came off after only 23 minutes, but he was limping badly.
Thank you, Gibbsy. More from you after ABC News coming up. Troy and Georgie in Sandy Island, Moreton Bay. Thank you for your nice text. Also, the new dawn of the Walker Brothers revolution reprised at the Toowoomba Western Clydesdales. Yeah, that was news to the week, Louis, as far as those Walker Brothers getting their next coaching gig in the Queensland Cup at Western Clydesdales. So there you go. Their name always comes up in,
They're a successful coaching team, and they'll probably go up there, get a bit more success, and hopefully they do get an opportunity in the NRL. I would love someone to give them a good chance in the NRL, because I reckon their game, the way that they do coach and the way they play the game, will be very exciting for fans.
Thank you for the great call, says one correspondent. Hope Andrew continues to improve. Yeah, Maury's doing well. He's been back at home for well over a week now, and as you heard from him last weekend, and it was just so great to do so. And yes, thank you for your text as well. 0467 920 222. Hudson Young will be a must for the Kangaroos. What a player. Cheers again, Graham. Hudson Young and the Kangaroos, yeah?
Probably. He's playing really well today. He's had a pretty good season. There was a couple of weeks, I think there was about 6 to 8 weeks, he was suffering with that osteotis pubis, which is a horrible injury to have, but you can play with it, very uncomfortable. But he's just got rid of it, so you can tell out there the way that he's moving this afternoon.
Around the grounds, in the NRLW, there were 2 full-time results. Earlier at Campbelltown, the Warriors 44 beat West Tigers 6. And at Hunter Stadium, the game we brought you in full, the Knights 30 beat St George Illawarra 22. That does confirm that finals placing for the Newcastle Knights. Will have a home final in that new 6-team, 3-week NRL Women's Finals system. In the New South Wales Cup, Parramatta and the Raiders starts very, very soon. Interesting you'd have the New South Wales Cup at the same time as I suppose you can't really do too much with that. We would have a final, I suppose, in this time slot in the first week, wouldn't we? The 4 o'clock in the first grade. But anyway, yeah, sometimes they clash. That's just the way it all goes. Canberra 18, Brisbane 12. Right now, time for ABC News.
Hello, this is ABC News with David Rowlands. Federal Opposition Leader Susan Lee has announced a shadow ministry reshuffle in the wake of Senator Jacinta Nampijinpa Price's sacking. Here's political reporter Romy Stevens.
The Northern Territory Senator was dumped from the front bench last week after she incorrectly suggested the Labor government was bringing in Indian migrants for party political purposes. Senator Nampijinpa Price then refused to apologise or back in Susan Lee's leadership. As part of the reshuffle, Western Australian MP Melissa Price has become Shadow Minister for Defence Industry and Defence Personnel. Tasmanian Senator Claire Chandler has been promoted to the front bench as Shadow Minister for Cyber Security and Science. Senator James Patterson has also been elevated to the Coalition's formal leadership group.
Hundreds of protesters have again taken to the streets of the Melbourne CBD, calling for an end to the war in Gaza. Today's gathering at the State Library marks the 100th weekly pro-Palestinian protest action and comes after protest groups clashed in the city yesterday. Some healthcare workers attended the rally, with one Royal Children's Hospital staff member criticising the cancellation of a Children in War discussion. Christine King says she's protesting to see an end to the war in Gaza.
It's about little kids with blood running down their faces. Just stop it, like now, yesterday. It astonishes me.
2 high-profile US lawmakers say they plan on tying a bill imposing sanctions on Russia over its war on Ukraine to must-pass legislation to avoid a government shutdown. Republicans Lindsey Graham and Brian Fitzpatrick have been pushing the legislation for months to impose tougher measures on Moscow. The bill also includes secondary sanctions on China and India for buying Russian oil. Republicans have been reluctant to bring the legislation to a vote, with US President Donald Trump hesitant to impose sanctions on Russia. The New South Wales Liberal leader has rejected suggestions he should step down in the wake of yesterday's by-election loss. Labor's Caitlin McEnany has defeated Liberal candidate Serena Copley in the South Coast seat of Kiama, which was vacated by convicted rapist Gareth Ward earlier this year. It will be the first time that Labor has held the seat in 14 years. Opposition leader Mark Speakman says it was always going to be a difficult fight, and his focus is now on the upcoming state election.
The stakes are too high, and absolutely, I'm determined to take the fight up to Chris Minns. But it's not about me, it's not about Chris Minns, it's about the people of New South Wales, their struggles, their needs. That's what I've been elected to do, and that's what I'll do.
Still in New South Wales, where a learner motorcycle rider is facing charges for allegedly killing a pedestrian at Revesby in Sydney southwest. Courtney Barrett-Peters reports.
2 weeks ago, a 37-year-old woman was struck by a motorbike while outside her car in an emergency bay on the M5 motorway. She was taken to hospital in a critical condition but died 2 days later. A man and 2 young girls inside the car were uninjured. A 19-year-old motorcycle rider was taken to hospital in a serious but stable condition. Police yesterday arrested him at a Campbelltown home. His licence has been suspended and he's facing charges of dangerous and negligent driving occasioning death. He will face court next month.
Western Australian Premier Roger Cook says changes to the state's public holidays will take 2 years to come into effect, after announcing he plans to introduce the legislation in Parliament next week. Western Australia will get 2 new public holidays, including Easter Saturday and Show Day, to mark the start of the October school holidays. Other changes will include moving 3 existing public holidays, including WA Day and the King's Birthday. Labor Day would also be changed to the second Monday of March, except in years of a state election, in which case it would be the third Monday. Mr Cook says the businesses and organisations will have time to prepare for when the changes take effect.
Subject to the passage of the legislation by the end of 2025, the new schedule is expected to take effect in 2028, allowing for a 2-year implementation period.
Nepal's major political parties are demanding the country's president reinstate the parliament he dissolved following deadly anti-corruption protests. 8 parties say the president acted unconstitutionally by dissolving the House of Representatives 2 days ago on the recommendation of the newly appointed interim Prime Minister, Sushila Karki. More than 50 people were killed in clashes with riot police during mass protests last week, which were sparked by a ban on social media platforms. That brings you up to date with the latest ABC News, more in 1 hour's time.
Get your footy fix live and ad-free with the ABC Listen app. Whatever footy you're after, we've got you covered. Called by ABC Sports expert commentary team. ABC Sports coverage of the footy on the ABC Listen app.
Hello, Patrick Stack here. Do you like sport and good conversation? Then we've got a great podcast for you. One cracking story, in depth, every day, in under 15 minutes. It's called ABC Sport Daily, and you can find it on the ABC Listen app.
ABC Sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Final Series.
Back to Walsh. Quick pass here, and now trying to get over the line and slamming it down. Tony Staggs scores the first try. They swing it across left-hand side, and Staggs finds the first 4 points of the qualifying final. Back here again, Tarpany straightens toward the post. Carrigan is there, so too Pakes. Last play, Green Machine. 2 out from that southern line. Starling finds Family. He kicks off the outside, the foot, and Hudson Young flies through and scores the try. Starling back here again now to Young. He puts in the kick with the shades there for Sebastian Kress, who falls on the footy and slides in to score. Canberra's goal on the fence under all kinds of pressure. Fakes back to Hunt. Spreads it wide here. Staggs off to Mariner, who runs in, plants it down deep in that northeastern corner of Canberra Stadium, and the Broncos hit back. Now it's last play, Green Machine, 12 out centre field. Starling, it's a set restart here as Weeks explodes away, loses 1-2 and slides in behind the posts. They took full advantage of that, the Canberra Raiders. Didn't need 6 more.
ABC Sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Final Series.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio,
And on the ABC Listen app.
The qualifying final here at Canberra Stadium, the Raiders 18 lead the Brisbane Broncos 12. A home prelim awaits the winner of this contest and, I guess, co-premiership favouritism. A top 2 seeding along with Melbourne Storm in a couple of weeks' time. And, of course, the loser gets a second chance. They'll host the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks next week. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis and John Gibbs here at a packed Canberra Stadium, which is now becoming into the twilight of this Sunday afternoon. And your texts are always welcome, 0467 920 222. Very 90s game, Raiders v Broncos, says one texter. Yeah, I mentioned the fact they met 3 times in finals between 1990 and 95. That was for a 2-1 Brisbane head-to-head. They've not met since. Of course, they were both very successful teams in that part of that 90s decade, the first half of that 90s era. Louis, there was some clarification sought on that Tom Starling misplayed the ball.
Yeah.
Because everyone's sort of saying, well, you know, he did play it, it shouldn't have been called. The refs are told to adjudicate on the basis of if your feet are not set. If you're off balance, you're not quite there. Even if the actual playing of the ball happens, like contact with the foot, if you're not set, yeah, but he wasn't set. He was set. He fell over after he played the ball. So I think that's they'll argue that he wasn't set.
Well,
that's why they interpret.
I thought he stood up and played the ball fine. He tripped over after. I thought it was fine. Gibbsy, where's Gibbsy?
Gibbsy, come on. Where is he? He's gone for a chat in the sheds, I think.
I'm in the tunnel. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We'll come back. You sound very, very like you're in a private situation. Answer Levine across the ditch. Thank you. Riding my green machine all the way to the big dance. Love and prayers to all. Scott from Tweed says, great weekend of footy. So happy to have the ABC app so I can still listen from the middle of the Dardanelles on a cruise. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Gear Stewart from Kalinga. We want more out of more. Nice to see Andrew's back at home and resting. Good on you, Gear Stewart. Wells family setting up for a barbecue at Everydaypartoflife Beach Sand Dunes. Please give us an update on Bolt Louis, says Adam. Good to see you.
He's going good, Bolt.
Speaking of running, here come the Broncos out onto Canberra Stadium to start the second half. They trail 18-12. We'll get word from the rooms there as Gibbsy's just come out behind Reece Walsh. Watch out, Reece. And we'll get to him very shortly. But this is anyone's game from here, Louis. How do you see it going?
I feel like Canberra is still in control. They look pretty comfortable for me, the Canberra Raiders, and they look comfortable when they're behind. I think Ricky Stewart was just talking about, fixing up their errors and keeping the ball down the other end and just being a little bit more patient. And you know what, if they do get behind, their offloads are really killing the Brisbane Broncos as well. So that will come back out, I'm sure.
John Gibbs, down to you.
Yeah, I was just sniffing around there in the tunnel because concern over Payne Haas, but the news is he's okay. But I watched him, that's why I wanted to watch him run out of the dressing room. He is proppy, but he's playing, so this is a brave effort. Ricky Stewart, delighted with his team, just wants them to play the same game, but get rid of the errors. And that's the message from both Mike Maguire and Ricky Stewart. Cut out the errors. Everything else is good.
It's finals footy, Louis. There's bound to be some errors, aren't there, in this pressure environment?
Yeah, absolutely. These guys like high pressure, and they just got to hold the ball and wait for someone to come up with an error in the wrong part of the field.
Canberra kicks off. Jordan Ricky catches there for the Broncos, and he's also caught in a tackle, 20 out from his own line, 20 in from the western touchline right in front of us here at Canberra Stadium. Inside the first 15 seconds of this second half. Hetherington on an angled run, claimed by Starling and Hosking. Will play it now here for Pakes at dummy half. Off here now to Jaden Hunt, who resumes off the bench for the first time in this second half now for the Brisbane Broncos. Back to Ben Tulty. Going low was Starling. Up top was Fogarty. On play 4 now for the Broncos. There is the carry from Payne Haas over halfway. Good game there as well. He got about 15 and now 40 out from Canberra's line centre field. Takes off to Hunt. That's Ben Hunt. Last play. Stabs at this ball. Goes high in the air though. Tamale brings it down now for the Canberra Raiders, and he set up on 10 out from his own line at southern end.
Yeah, well, that's a good set there from the Brisbane Broncos with ball in hand. They made 60 metres and finish off with a nice kick. So the Canberra Raiders, they've come out a little bit sluggish at the moment.
70 seconds in as they go up that right-hand side of the park, the Canberra Raiders. Making the tackle down there is Tulty on Matt Timmercore, and now Chris, one of their first half try scorers. Here's tackle, 32 out, 20 in from the eastern side. On this second last play here for the Raiders, Hosking straightens his run there into Payne Haas. He'll play it 9 short of the halfway. Starling feeds it back here to the run of Fogarty. The kick from Fogarty goes from behind that 40-metre line over Reece Walsh's head into the in-goal area. Walsh gathers, gets around that goal post, and now is put down by Strange and Hudson Young. 20 out, 20 in from the western side. So Brisbane start their next set from there. Ben Hunt swings it wide now to his winger and Dean Mariner, who's playing his first career final. Scored a try in the first half, Mariner, and now the other wingers are involved here. Karapani tackled by Hosking. 35 out, centre field. Going here from dummy half, Pakes off to Shibasaki. 8 short of the halfway. Played now for the Broncos. Couple of tackles left in this set. Hetherington gets over halfway. Horsburgh goes with him. Last play, Broncos who trail 18-12 here in Canberra. Ben Hunt's kick travels high and long downfield. Again, it's there for the wing of Sabilio Tamale, and he skipped into the defensive line. In fact, across it goes a big fend there on Jaden Hunt. Still going Tamale, and he's claimed in a 3-man tackle. 15 out out 20 in from the eastern side. No change to our halftime score here in the Berra. Raiders 18, Broncos 12. Touchline, John Gibbs.
Well, I've got another injury update. Brendan Piakura won't be coming back, and he's got a suspected fractured eye socket. And I would say he sustained that in when he was trying to back up Billy Waters, and he dropped the ball when they could have scored there just before the try to Kaya Weeks. But that is a blow.
Broncos a man down. He's starting from dummy half with a break. Burns past Hetherington. Still going, Starling. Still going. Has some support there in Smithies. Starling has the ball. Angles his run towards the eastern side. Walters gets him. Great break and good game there from Tom Starling. They're 15 out the Raiders. Running kick from Fogarty. Delivered by Hunt in the in goal on the full. Not quite. He'll play it metre out from his own line. So a full set here for the Broncos. Pressing off that northern goal line now. Louis 18-12. The home side's lead. 4 gone second half.
Yeah, well, Tom Starling, he did the same thing in the first half. The very first set, he got the ball out of dummy half and almost went straight through. His running game is a real threat. He needs to continue to do that against this Brisbane Broncos current forward pack.
Mariner involved and now Stags as well. Tackled by Adam Mariotta. His only previous final was 2023 elimination final against Newcastle. Here they go, Talty for the Broncos. Tackle 35 out on the Luke Lewis line. Platt now Pakes, open side left. Walsh kicks from just on the 40-metre line now. Inside to the referee. Quite happy angle. Goes on the chest of a winger out there, Jed Stewart. And he's met there by Walters, and he'll play it 20 out from his own line here. Canberra on the attack. 18-12, the home side's lead here at a packed Canberra Stadium. It's becoming increasingly cold as well, as Gibsy said, as the entire ground is now in the shadows of that setting sun behind us. So Ricky makes the tackle there on Tamale. Play it 40 out here for the Raiders. Starling feeds Smithies, runs it headlong into Haas and also Hetherington, and metre short of the halfway. Starling back to Horsburgh, brought down there by Kobe Hetherington. Play it 40 out centre field. Starling off to Fogarty. Kick goes up. No real yardage gain. Just goes high up in the air. Batted back by Stewart. Still alive for the last here for the Raiders. And now Kyo Weeks. Birds past Walsh. Still going Kyo. Dummies a pass. And he's brought down. Ball came loose into the path of Ricky. Broncos back on the attack. 5 out from their own line. It remains Raiders 18. Broncos 12. 6 going second half, Louis.
He's so exciting, Kyo Weeks. See, every time he gets the ball, you see the crowd just stand on their feet. He's very sharp, explosive. He looks great out there when he's got the ball in hand. And they're the kicks they've got to continue to do. The Canberra Raiders just get them nice and high and complete.
Oh, Walters off here to Jaden Hunter. Was hit stronger there by Zach Hosking. You hear the clash of bodies in the effects mic here at Canberra Stadium. Pakes dummy half for the Broncos. Open side right for Talty. And he's put down. 30 out, 20 in. They trail by Kamuta try here, the Broncos. Hunt kicks from the 30-metre line there, and it skids down and finds touch on that other 30-metre line there. So it will be a Raiders ball from about, I want to say 35 out. From
exactly 35.
35, there you go, the Lewis line. Down to you, John Gibbs.
Well, that passage of play there from Canberra, you saw some savage defence and then the speed of Kyo Weeks. How good is Kyo going in his first finals match? But that's why Canberra are so exciting to watch. That's why they're the minor premiers. They have a beautiful blend of power and speed. 19 wins before today, the Canberra Raiders. Of course, they lost last week because they rested 10 of their best players, who are feeling mostly fresh, I'm sure, here today. 10 metres inside, Broncos territory played by Smithy. Starling off to Mariotta. Positioned well here, the Raiders, who have had less possession across the game. 56% ball for the Broncos so far. Raiders at 18-12. Starling goes from dummy half again. He's played a great game so far. Tackled there by Ricky. 25 out. Dummy half, Horsburgh. Low ball there, Fogarty. Hudson Young straightens his run there for Ben Hunt. And down low in there was Hetherington. Last play, Raiders. Strange finds Horsburgh. Runs it across that defensive line. Shares it with his fullback, Weeks. Now to Hosking. He goes on the toe. Not successfully. Ball goes really nowhere other than right into the path of the Brisbane Broncos. And it will be played there by Corey Pakes, deep in that northeastern corner of Canberra Stadium. So it remains our halftime scoreline. 8 going second half. Raiders 18, Broncos 12. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis and John Gibbs. This qualifying final on ABC Sport.
at the moment. All the momentum's with Canberra, obviously getting the field position at the moment, but he will swap again for the Brisbane Broncos, but he's an offload here from Ben.
Pops it back on the bounce there to Reece Walsh. He shrugs one tackle, takes on Mariota. He swings a pass back now for Ricky. And he's put down by Sebastian Chris. In case you missed the news from John Gibbs, no Brendan Piakura, who's now it's a run from Stags. Tackle just short of the halfway, 20 in from the western side. So this is the last play, Broncos. It's off to Ben Hunt. High in the air, across the jet, shoot on his wing, and he is grounded here, 25 out from his own line. Open side left, 9 going second half, remains Raiders 18, Broncos 12. The home side on the attack. Tamale rolls in the tackle of Ben Hunt, play at 40 out, Starling. Smithy's had a head start as he hit that ball at speed. Tackle too short of the halfway line. Couple of plays left here now for the Canberra Raiders. Hudson Young gains a quick 13-14. Still going, good post-contact game. Young will play at 35 out from that northern line. The Broncos are defending. Starting to the right-hand side now for Fogarty. Up goes the kick. Walsh, we've beaten to it by Hosking. I think he missed it though, Hosking out of the air. So it bounced out there to the wing of Karapani, and the Broncos winger is tackled by Smithies. John Gibbs, remind me what the Piakura issue was?
Yeah, he's got a fractured eye socket, so he's gone.
And, like Viliami.
And Viliami were waiting an outcome there, a scan. But Horsman's just come off and Papa Lee's come on.
They shift the right-hand side, they go. Sorry, gives it back to you shortly. Here they go on the wing with Dean Mariner, and he's playing 35 out, 12 in from the western side. Raiders 18, Broncos 12, 10 going second half. Carrigan gives him some punch over halfway here. Good little drive there from the Broncos captain. On that western side logo. Now Payne Haas, his best carry of the game so far. He's stopped there by Papa Lee and also Mariota. 35 out, last play Broncos. Short side right they come. Up goes the Ben Hunt kick. It'll hang there out in the corner for Tamale, and he's brought down under pressure from Ricky. And the Raiders will start a new set from there. Lewington out from their own line. 18-12 their lead.
Yeah, not a bad set there from the Broncos. Good place to finish the set with that kick down the right edge and a really nice chase. And here's an error. Oh no, it's a penalty now. I thought it was a drop ball there from Canberra, but they're saying it was a rake on Sebastian Chris, and he'll get a penalty only 13 metres out from his own line. So that's a massive let off there for the Canberra Raiders.
That's now 6-1, the penalty count Canberra's way. Touchline to go, John Gibbs.
Well, Joseph Tarpany's about to come back into the play as well, so Papa Lee and Tarpany will be on the field together. Ricky Stewart going to his key players. They're looking good, Canberra, but they're only that 6 points in front, which is not a big enough lead to be comfortable.
Mick says, good call, guys, listening in from Western China. Go to Milk. Got a few texts from exotic places as well. Listening on the SMS line, 0467920222. More of that shortly. End-to-end stuff here at Canberra Stadium. Papa Lee at first receiver, gains a quick 10. He's tackled just short of the halfway by Henrington and Carrigan. Starling feeds it right-hand side on play 3 now for the Canberra Raiders. Mariota stands in the tackle of Payne Haas. And now hits the deck. Opportunity here for the Raiders who have had less ball. They lead to the scoreboard, they're 18-12. And now Hosking somehow held the footy despite that big tackle from Walters and Shibasaki. Looking a bit worse to where is Zach Hosking as play continues here through centre field for Canberra. And the man in the green jersey carrying the ball is Smithies. Play it now for Starling, 25 out. Fogarty holds the footy, now release. Oh, it's the last play, they run the ball, and now the ball's come loose out of Hudson Young's hands. And we'll come back here for a Brisbane play the ball 20 out from their own line at northern end. Not far away from you, John Gibbs.
Yeah, that could have been a try, but it was a little bit sloppy. It was a bit adventurous. It could have been taken. Just had a look at a replay there. Ethan Strange running into a hole that hit him in the head. It was a Falcon. They're going to take that opportunity. Hudson Young is having a wow of a game.
He's having a great game. He's the New South Wales and Australia back rower. Broncos on the attack. 18-12 Louis, 12 gone second half.
Yeah, I feel like Canberra is still dominating field position at the moment. When it bowls the Broncos, I'll be getting the ball to Tony Staggs as much as possible. He's the only one who's really threatening the Canberra line with his running game.
He scored the first try of the game for Staggs, and here is Payne Haas. One short of the half Braithwaite played to pace. Carrigan. Through yellow boots off to Hetherington. Strange good chase and tackle gets Hetherington. Play at 35 out here, Broncos. It is last play. Walsh explodes away. Sends a pass wide to Shibasaki. On the inside there of Timacor. Awkward offload there was lost by Jaden Hunt. Broncos error. Raiders ball 20 out. Oh, now it's really on. Jaden Hunt in frustration threw down. Was it Hudson Young who he tangled up with? Yeah. Hudson Young's just laughing at him. But Jaden Hunt, let's have a listen. That was egregious from Jaden Hunt.
Walk away.
He just decked him.
I didn't see it.
The play was dead. He just decked him.
Take your time. Stay away from each other. Yep. Yep.
It was Reece Walsh. Headbutt.
Walsh, it was. It was Reece Walsh, actually.
Is that a headbutt?
Oh, he does. He headbutts Hudson Young. Here we go. Let's listen in.
I'm going to bin them both.
He's going to bin them both. You can't bin Hudson Young for that.
There are tailgates to a headbutt.
Don't take all your players that way. Just take them away from
It's going to be 12 on 12.
Yeah, but how do you send Hudson Young for that?
Stay here.
Please tell me. You can say stuff to people, but he gets a headbutt.
You're run in there and got in his face, right, which makes him react right. No. You do not do that. You take it all out of our hands, right? There'll be no issues, right? You're going to go to the bin for 10 minutes. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, everyone's blown up. I can see that.
Hudson Young gets marched first, but they'll soon realise, Gibbsy, that Reece Walsh is going as well.
Yeah, and Ricky Stewart, I was standing right next to him just shaking his head. Hudson Young got in his face, so that means we're not allowed to get in anyone's face. But he's reacted over the top, Reece Walsh. So Hudson Young got under his skin.
Obviously, he came into your face, but you have to control your actions. You're in the
10 for Reece Walsh, 10 for Hudson Young. It's 18-12 Raiders, and it's 12 on 12 Luke Lewis.
Yeah, it's exciting, and it's good to see the crowd get up, but I still can't get my head around. You can go past people and still say things. He didn't touch him or do anything. Reece Walsh threw his head into it.
It didn't look like it, did it? That he actually had physical contact on Reece Walsh. How do you see it, Gibbsy?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it wasn't a damaging, malicious one, but Hudson Young has got in his face, and he's put his head into the face of Hudson Young, and then went on with it and put him onto the ground. 10 minutes in the bid for both of them. Look, I don't think he should be sent off, Reece Walsh, but I do think Hudson Young is unlucky. He should have been 13 on 12. Nevertheless, it's 12 on 12, and the crowd is into it.
Yeah, and while you were speaking, Gibbsy, Reece Walsh came from the field. What did he do? Gave the crowd the bird from the tunnel. So that was... So it's all happening. Broncos on the attack here. Inside 20, southern end. Hetherington claimed 11 away in front of the uprights. Can the Broncos hit back? A player each in the bin. Hudson Young and Reece Walsh. Payne Haas offload. Pake still alive. Stagg slammed down by Seb Chris. 8 out right-hand side. Dummy half. Spun wide from Pakes and Ben Hunt run down. Ball comes loose. Loose ball in by Weeks. The Raiders are away. He's over the 40. The halfway. They can't catch Kayo. And it's an open space here. D Mariners going after him. Kayo Weeks runs 95 and gives the Canberra Raiders some breathing space. 22-12. Kick to come Raiders. They're throwing big hand. They're going nuts here on the western side of Canberra Stadium.
Yeah, it's a great try, but I reckon we're going to see some footage first. Going to see how this ball comes loose. But when the ball does come loose, who do you want to see the man with the ball in his hand? It is Weeks. He's been outstanding as well. But here, I think it might come back to Fogarty knocking the ball down. But does it go back or does it go forward? That's going to be the question.
Have a listen and hear from John Gibbs shortly as well. But for the time being at least, they're not looking at this. They will be back at Bunker HQ. But you're reckon, Gibbsy?
Well, when it happened, no one seemed to react. It was Ben Hunt who put the play under pressure. The ball went down. It went in the hands of Kyle Weeks. Well, there might be a winner if they had a sprint, but he might be otherwise involved on grand final day. He picked it up. Dean Mariner came. It was all in vain. He is such a beautiful athlete. He's had a big game, but that was a ball from Ben Hunt that put his teammate under pressure. The ball went down. Kyle Weeks picked it up.
Confirmed, says Ash Klein. There we go. So 22-12 and a chance here for Jamal Fogarty to double Canberra's lead. Or at least double the Broncos score. So 11 out directly in front for 24-12. We've got Hudson Young and Reece Walsh in the sin bin. Walsh flipped the crowd the bird as he came from Canberra Stadium. Tensions high. The crowd loved that from Kyle Weeks. Fogarty makes no mistake. He's 4 from 4. Canberra 24, Brisbane 12. Still quite early in this second half on ABC Sport, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, still not game over just yet. 12 points, 2 tries. If anyone's going to score 2 tries pretty quickly, is the Brisbane Broncos. But they do look a little bit rattled, a little bit shocked. And I like the way the Canberra are playing at the moment. They've been tough. They've been dominating field position in the second half. And they're out by 12 points.
Back-to-back tries for Kyle Weeks on the side of the half-time break. How good is for the ABC listener? 2 lifelong Broncos fans listening in from Stephenson, Georgia, ahead of a climb up Mount Casbah. As the kick goes down to Pufferley, you brought back here for the Raiders. The Caucasus Mountains are a long way from Canberra, but your great coverage makes us feel like we're at the stadium. Cheers, Chris and Neil. And we've got a few of your texts I'll get to in a second, but the game here is paramount. It's being the mountains. It's happening. Play at 30 out. Smithies, big clash there with Carrigan. And Englishman's down and very slow getting up.
Yeah, Carrigan's hurt himself a bit too, but Carrigan's a
oh yeah, he's spitting blood there, Smithies.
No, I just don't want any issues to happen. Talk about him rushing up fuck as well.
That's
Yeah, head on head or might be Carrigan's shoulder in the head. This is concerning here for the Broncos, Johnny Gibbs.
Yes, it looked like it. He went backwards, Carrigan, but he's come in. He's hit him with the shoulder. He's hit him with the shoulder. This is trouble.
This could be with Reece Walsh still in the bid. It's 12 on 12, but Paddy Carrigan will be spoken to here in some capacity by Ash Klein. Let's have a listen. He's called over.
And you brushed up out of right.
Ashley Klein.
Contact with the head.
Reece Carrigan with 10. So, double sin bin. This will overlap for 3 minutes with the Reece Walsh sin bin. And it's 12 v 11. The Broncos captain goes to the sin bin.
Wow. You know what? I can see what Patrick Carrigan's trying to do. He's trying to come out and fire off his team. That just gets it a little bit wrong. And then gets him head high. And it's going to be hard to hold out this Canberra side.
That's why Starling taps here, Louis 30 out, because he realises there's big gaps in that Brisbane defence. Over halfway he goes. 24-12. This is a massive period of the game. They could almost ice it here just about. 16 gone, 24 left. Long way to go yet, but if they can take advantage and score some more points, that might just put the Broncos to bed.
Zach to play the ball.
He has to come off.
Morgan is through the field.
Yeah, and that would make sense. That looked nasty there with Carrigan on Smithies. So Smithies will come off and be assessed here, Gibbsy. But on report, sin bin, shoulder charge, Paddy Carrigan.
Yeah, absolutely. And pretty good replacement though. Smithies Sasangi, who's been in good form. He comes out to the raucous applause of the crowd here. They're really lapping this up. It's quite an incredible game. The atmosphere here is amazing.
Phenomenal. So, 24-12 the score. That's the most important. 24-12 the scoreline. Fogarty, show and go here with Sasangi. Took on Staggs, put down 8 out, right-hand side of the sticks. Starling to Fogarty. Right and left they go. Strange through a gap as big as you like. Slams it down for the Canberra Raiders. They have seized the ascendancy since half-time or just before that. But it's now 28-12, kick to come, Canberra.
How good. Well, they're always going to make Brisbane pay when they've got 13 on 11. Hard to defend, but really nice nice work by Canberra. They wanted to get straight into it. Really nice carry there from Simi Sasangi. Quick play the ball. And that pulls all the Brisbane Broncos out of whack in defence. And Ethan Strange, you know his favourite play is that beautiful left foot step. And he runs the ball nice and close to the line. As easy as you like, goes over. And that's a nice try there from the Canberra Raiders. What's that, 28-12 kick to come. And they've still got 2 in the bin for another 1 for 5 minutes 40 and 1 for 8.5 minutes.
That's Reece Walsh and Paddy Carrigan, 2 very important players for the Broncos. Ethan Strange, meanwhile, gives his first career final and he scores a try.
Yeah, look, he's been threatening. What about the acceleration? But the run by Simi Sasangi, so he had Carrigan sent to the bin as a result of the head clash with Morgan Smithies. Morgan Smithies has to go for an HIA. Simi Sasangi, who's been in great form, and it's a category 2, by the way, so he's being assessed. It's mainly a cut lip. And then Simi Sasangi comes on with a great run, quick play the ball and try. And Reece Walsh, being off the field, he's their main man in terms of setting up points for the side. So they're in trouble, Brisbane.
Fogarty 4 from 4 so far. He's 21 out, 15 in western side, right in front of you, Gibbsy. Here he is, right on the kick, starts right, misses this one, and it remains Canberra 28, Brisbane 12. The other important thing, Louis, is Reece Walsh headbutt. That's a potential suspension too. So he's, you'd think, in most cases, headbutts would be suspension, wouldn't they?
I got no idea. Yeah, definitely a headbutt.
So, yeah, that could be something for next week. Of course, the Broncos, they get done here, which it looks more and more likely. They'll face the Sharks at Lang Park next weekend.
That'll be a big one. But still not over yet.
No.
Still 22.5 minutes left on the clock. Canberra, I reckon, will need another try.
Still 5 minutes left of the Hudson Young and Reece Walsh sin bins, the dual sin bins that happened there. It's been lost by Tamale off the kickoff. Might have just gone backward. No, he said no, it went down, so it's a knock on. And it's going to be a Broncos ball, 10 out from that Raiders line, southern end.
Yeah, poor Tamale. He, don't know what he was thinking. He is probably just got a little bit confident, gets up there, just slipped straight through his arms, and he can't believe it. But, they've got to defend him. You'd think they should be able to defend him pretty well here. The 2 players down, their attacking weapon in Reece Walsh is off, because Tony Staggs is going to be the man to step up for him.
Paul says...
Look at the scrum too, sorry. There's only 4 players in the scrum. How good?
Yeah. So the Broncos shipped it left-hand side of that scrum as Walters on the tackle of Sangi, and he's claimed in that eastern corner of Canberra Stadium. Side leads 28-12, 19 gone, 21 left in the game here. The second half is qualifying final on ABC Sport. Carried there by Jaden Hunt. Played to pace. Payne Haas. Can he lift them? Wrapped up by Papali'i. 4 metres out. Centre field here. 6 more. Some slow ruck there in defence of the Raiders. So a full set for the Broncos, and Tyson Scooty's involved. He goes towards that line, might be just held up on that southern goal line now. Pace, swings it across to Haas, almost dropped the footy, takes on to Sungy, flick pass back here, it was clever there to Pace, and now wide to Shibasaki. He goes 1 fend, and now 2, 12 away from Canberra's line, claimed there by Hosking and also Papali'i. Played there by Shibasaki. Pace off to Walters, 1 step to the left, now the right, sends a pass to Hunt. His kick goes cross-field for the wing there of Mariner. Good contest in the air with Tamale, and that will...
Wasn't that a contestant? He's tackling in the air.
He's going to deem it's going to be a penalty here going Brisbane's way because of Tamale tackling in the air.
That's what the Brisbane Broncos needed.
Paul said Walsh should have been sent off, but nothing. What a frigging joke it's all become. Someone's asked about suspensions for headbutts. Justin in Canberra says go the milk. As a Storm fan, this would make for a very fiery grand final, says Simon from Melbourne. Amazing try, says Angie, and Weeks wasn't even puffed with that second try he scored after half time. They lead here 28-12. Broncos who trail are on the attack. Ben Hunt to Payne Haas, takes 3, Raiders with him, not quite there. Metre shy, left-hand side of the sticks. 20 gone, 20 left in their second half in the capital. Left-hand side they go. They're going to set restart here. So more repeat ball for the Broncos for that ruck infringement. So Walters tackled there. 8 metres out centre field. Comes open side right, Smoothie. And now here again is Jordan Ricky. Played to Pace. Back left, Smoothie, their utility. The half-back in Hunt. And now, not quite finishing there, tackled ball and all, is that man in Staggs. Plays it quickly, Pates back to Hunt. Dummies here on Papali'i. And he's dragged down. He's out from Canberra's line. This is second last play as Staggs shapes to kick and not quite in there himself. He is just inches shy under the black dot. And he's lost it. So, Canberra's defence hangs on somehow, Louis, but they do have a very handy 28-12 lead. There is still 80 seconds left of the Hudson Young and Reece Walsh sin bins, and a further 4 minutes of the Paddy Carrigan sin bin.
Yeah, Tony Staggs there, he comes in, he gets very, very close, but as he gets up, I know he catches the ball just because it touches Joe Tarpany here, and that's class as a knock on. So Canberra, they'll be cheering about that, but I'll tell you what, Broncos look more dangerous than the 2 plays down.
Touchline, Jonty Gibbs.
Yeah, he did a great job there to Tony Staggs, except for him losing the ball. He threw the dummy, and he's done everything he can to get over the try line. Of course, he scored that one in the first half. Now there's Hudson Young is just warming up in front of me, and he looks ready to go. You should have seen the reaction from Ricky Stewart when Tony Staggs lost the ball.
And it's not just the sin bins, of course, once they expire, but also Brendan Piakura, who suffered the fractured eye socket. So that was the news Gibbsy brought us earlier. They're down a man regardless, the Brisbane Broncos. Through centre field, the Raiders go Tarpany, their captain. And he's put his back, 8 metres short of the halfway. Play to Starling. Papali'i receives it now. He thought he saw a gap between Payne Haas and Jaden Hunt. Will now play it there, Big Papa. White plays 350th next year, the new contract. He plays nearly every game. Kick goes up, in the air for Staggs. And they jump around him. Staggs brings it back, 12 out from his own line. A new set will start there for the Broncos. Hudson Young and Reece Walsh into the game, Louis.
Yeah, they're back on the field. And that's a big plus there for the Broncos to get Reece Walsh back on. But also for Hudson Young, he's been having a really good game this afternoon. So he's starting to get a little bit back to normal. Oh, penalty now for the Broncos. Very few things going their way at the moment now, Squeaky.
Yeah. This game is not done yet. There is 17 minutes left, though. And what feels like... How cold does it feel now down there, Gibbsy?
Yeah, it feels like it's about 5. But look, this game warms you up. Just on Reece Walsh, had a look at some vision. He did the bird, then he came back and he had another crack. He rubbed his fingers together like, I've got cash, I'm rich. So what? That's my perception of it anyway. So there was 2 things.
Get to your text shortly as well. You're living this with us on ABC Sport. Bring it to you from a lively Canberra stadium. Pakes open side right. On here to Walters. Through hand Benhart. Reece Walsh. His first carry since he came back on the ground. Shrugs away from Hudson Young. Sends a wide pass across there. It bounced to Shibasaki. Timokor wraps him up. 40 out. Get in from the east to the side. Capacity crowd. Sell out here on this fine summer afternoon come evening. Jaden Hunt will play at 35 out. Pakes here for the Broncos. Finds Payne Haas in space. And Hudson Young meets him head on. So too Tarpany. A couple of plays left this set now for the Broncos, who trailed 28-12 at hands of Canberra. Early kick from Hunt. Goes high down to the goal area. On the thoughts taken by Kyo Weeks. So a restart from 20 and 7 tackles for the green machine, Louis. They have it 28-12. Minute left of Paddy Carrigan's sin bin.
7 tackle set now. Important Canberra just don't get too far ahead of themselves. They've just got to get through a set, be smart about it, kick down into that corner, and just make Brisbane come out of their own end, from deep in their own end.
15:40 left in the game. You think one more try and we're done. I'm sure it feels that way for most Raiders fans now, but they want to put this game to bed. Chris Tackle plays it now. Foley dummy half finds Hudson Young to his left. And now Ricky's all over him. So too Jaden Hunt and Tyson Smoothie. Smoothie's off to Wakefield Trinity next year. They go the Raiders with Horsburgh back in the action. Play 30 out. Off the deck, Starling scoops up with one hand. And dummies here as he's taken by Haas and also Pakes. 20 out centre field. Last play Canberra. Foley back here for his captain Tarpany. Pops it back for Hosking, who just lost it. It was an awkward pass and there was pressure from Shibasaki. So it will be available Broncos. 10 out from their own line. It's the Raiders 28, Brisbane 12, 14:50 left. Sideline, John Gibbs.
Oh, good tackle there because it was going to be a try to Zach Hosking. A difficult one to take, but he had a Shibasaki all over him, and that's why he lost the ball. But they're certainly punching some holes. They've still got to score again, though, because the Broncos, Reece Walsh in, Patrick Carrigan now joins the fray. So it's 13 on 13.
So, here they go. Up the right-hand side with Stags. The Broncos making a run here on play 3. Hunt in a set restart here as well. So, over halfway they go. Good drive now from Jensen, who's back out there. We're inside Canberra territory. Play to pace. Carrigan's back out there, as Gibbsy said. Walters to Walsh. Left-hand side. Walsh back on the inside. Blazes away. Takes on Weeks. Goes for the corner and scores a try. Welcome back, Reece Walsh. They were booing him, he was sin binned, he flipped them the bird, and now he scores the try to see if Brisbane can yet have the last laugh. 28-16, kick to come Broncos. On ABC Sport, Luke Lewis, 13.50 left.
Well, it was always going to happen eventually for the Brisbane Broncos. And it's just a matter of who's going to step up and when they're going to do it. But Reece Walsh comes on the big play, leaves Jamal Fogarty on the outside with a bit of a show and go, uses that speed to get around Weeks, and scores a nice try with 13 and a half minutes left on the clock. So game is not over yet, but I feel like there's a lot of things starting to go in Brisbane's favour. They're making a few metres, they're getting set restarts, they're getting a couple of penalties. They're slowly starting to get that momentum back into that Brisbane jersey.
They're showing pictures of, I assume, Caxton Street on the big screen here. Gibbsy, the Broncos fans shooting that try on. We'll wait for the kick here from Reece Walsh. I've got you up though, Gibbsy. 28-16. Kick will come 25 out. 5 in from the eastern side.
Payne Haas has left the field.
Okay, you did spot that earlier, didn't you? That he had maybe some issues in the first half. 13 minutes left in the game. This for a 28-18 scoreline. The game is not done at that point. Reece Walsh, in he comes. Starts at left. Low, flat delivery, waved away. It remains Canberra 28, Brisbane 16, 12:45 left, Gibbsy.
Well, that was an important conversion there. And Reece Walsh, what about the run though? They went from Carrigan to Reece Walsh. He showed the dummy, got him behind Jamal Fogarty and also Matt Timmercore and Bert Kyo Weeks. You know how fast they go. I'd like to see those two in a match race. They're exciting players. Reece Walsh, you got to love him. I mean, he's birding the crowd. Show me the money. He's just doing everything right. Now, we have head knock there is okay for Morgan Smith is to come back, but you can't take your eyes off Reece Walsh. If they're to get back into this game, they need him to do something similar to that superb individual try.
Seeing Payne Haas in front of me here, Gibbs is hobbling behind the Broncos bench. The unofficial light takes over here as well. So as I said, we started in bright sunshine. We were here this morning. It's a great feel ahead of it in this game. Jensen brings it back from the kickoff. 28-16, 12 and a half left. The Broncos must take Louis every opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not going to get they might not get too many opportunities, but at the moment, they are doing a really good job coming out their own end.
Smoothie, Ben Hunt, dummies here. Darts on the inside of Hudson Young. Young gets him. Origin combatants, those two, for opposing sides. Hudson Young and Ben Hunt. 40 out. Comes open side left here. Carrigan, Walters, Jaden Hunt. Got a big tackle there from Timmercore and also Sasani. They roll on here though, the Bronx. Left edge with Walters. 35 out, he stopped and in from that far touch line. Last play, running kick from Ben Hunt. It goes up into the evening sky. Jed Stewart did well. Dragged back in the in-goal area though. And he holds it up. But it will be a line dropout, of course. So 11:45 left. Line dropout, Canberra. Can the Broncos find their way back? 28-16. Dennis the Truckee currently going through Peak Hill, New South Wales. How gold is that? Reece Walsh flips the bird to the Canberra spectators with 15 seconds. They're cheering him down this aisle. They got another try ahead. Magic. The game's not done yet because Reece Walsh got that try back, Louis. 28-16.
And right after the set after points, they go 100 metres and get a repeat set. So yeah, they're doing a good job, the Brisbane Broncos at the moment.
Fogarty smashes this ball down towards that 40-metre line. Jensen runs it back there in the wall of Tarpany, and also in there, Timacor, play at 25 out. Jaden Hunt on a centre field run here for the Broncos. 11 left in his second half. Raiders 28, Broncos 16. What does Brisbane have left? Carrigan carries it right, now steps back left, takes on Smithies. Cut down 13 shy of that Canberra line, southern end. Pace, flat ball to Walters. On to Walsh in close, and to the wing where Karapani can finish. Game's not done yet. Raiders 28, Broncos 20. Nasiah Karapani, 11 games this year, 11 tries, and none more important than that, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, Karapani goes over, but who passes the pass? Reece Walsh gets it out the back, sees a little bit of space on the outside of Jet Stewart there, and tests the pass, and I suppose Karapani's speed, and he just catches it, goes over as easy as you like. He does try and get a little bit closer to the post to make sure he gets his kick, but 28-20 with a kick to come, 10 minutes on the clock, and all the momentum with the Brisbane Broncos.
Touchline, John Gibbs.
Oh, what a game. What a game. Reece Walsh, and again, it was magic. Before, it was the fleet-footedness. On this occasion, beautiful hands, and Karapani has done a good job because he ran in about another 10 metres where that could be valuable because Reece Walsh from the same side missed one earlier. This is a big kick. Still 9.5 to go. Yep. That's an eternity.
Reece Walsh 25 out, 11 in from the eastern side. Thank you, Gibbsy, to make it 28-22. 6 points the dip. Left foot kick. It hits the post. Cannon's back into the field of play. So, no further points forthcoming. It's a very important 8-point buffer for the Raiders, Louis, with 9.5 left.
Yeah, it's a massive buffer for the Canberra Raiders, so they don't have to get too nervous just yet. But they do need some leaders to step up here and keep the ship nice and calm. This is very important here now. They get through these sets, they stay squeaky clean in defence, they don't give away any penalties and give field position to this Brisbane Broncos side.
9:20 left here at Canberra Stadium. Light towers blazing, temperature dropping. This game just keeps getting hotter. Raiders kick off through Fogarty. Down it goes towards that far corner. Walters feeds Jensen, runs into Horsburgh, Tarpany, and that star-studded fullback there for the Canberra Raiders. Walters directs it open side right. Jaden Hunt dragged back there by Smithies and Starling. Inside his own red zone there for the Brisbane Broncos. And now Smoothie, back Teltine is for the Broncos. Tries to, back to Smoothie, beg your pardon, 30 out. Back here, Walsh early kick from behind the 30. Weeks chasing it down towards that touchline. That's incredible from Reece Walsh. It cuts in just behind the corner post. That is the longest, most extraordinary 40-20 you will see.
It is ridiculous. Reece Walsh goes off with a brain explosion headbutt, comes back on the field, scores a try, sets up a try, and then comes up with a 40-20 in a matter of 4 or 5 minutes and gets the Brisbane Broncos right back into this game.
Get to Gibbsy shortly. They tap quickly here, 10 out. Jensen. This desperate Canberra goal line defence. 5 there, Greg Jensen. Makes across here, Ben Hunt, and now Carrigan. Young tackles in down low, up top, there in there, Tarpany. 8 away from those upright southern ends. Smoothie angles his run. Tries to find a gap there, right hand side of the post. Play 3 here, Broncos. They come short side. Walsh slips over. Young tackles him, so too Smithies. 5 out from Canberra's line. Midway to the set here for the Broncos. Comes Smoothie. And now Carrigan. Left-hand side shift. Ben Hunt. Walters through the gap. Shibasaki! He scores in the corner. 28-24. With 7.5 minutes left. This game is off its head, Luke Lewis.
It is off its head. But I said, what, about 10 minutes ago, you could feel that momentum and the calls going Brisbane's way. The Canberra have really got to just slow down for a second, take a deep breath. They've got to start to think a little bit. Their leaders need to step up, but that play from Reece Walsh, seriously, it was 30 metres out from his own line. He kicks the ball early and he gets a 40-20 that puts him in this position. And then a really nice, simple little shift over to that left-hand side. Shibasaki punching into a beautiful hole and a nice little soft hands there from Billy Walters. Great work.
John Gibbs, talk to me.
Oh, that right-hand side defence is in all sorts of trouble, and really, it was good work by Carrigan on the inside. He got the ball to Ben Hunt, and then Ben Hunt on the outside and went to Shibasaki, and Shibasaki straight through. Tim McCall wasn't there to make the tackle. This has been one of the remarkable games. Absolutely incredible, and the crowd has gone a little bit silent. This is the third time in a row he's kicking from the same side, but that right-hand side defence for Canberra is vulnerable, and Payne Haas is coming back for the final foray.
He hit the post last time, Reece Walsh. Best to make it 28-26. 25 out. 6 minutes in from the eastern side. Left foot kick. The account for that. Breeze. And over it goes. 2-point ball game. 6 minutes left. Hang on to your hats. And by the way, I should remind you, in finals, there is no immediate golden point. By the full 10, so 2, 5-minute halves of extra time, and then after that golden point, if the teams cannot be split. So, it was 28-12. They've stacked on 3 straight tries since Reece Walsh came back from his sin bin. He scored the first, then Karapani, then Shibasaki. Walsh, by the way, 3 from 5 conversions, and it is a 2-point ball game here in the nation's capital. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis and John Gibbs. Payne Haas brings it back there for Starling and Hosking. Brisbane had possession, 5:50 left on the clock. Open side left they go here, the Broncos, Jensen. They take some pace out of the game. Takes off the Carrigan, gains half a dozen. Put down 30 out. Right now back to pace. Now Ben Hunt directs traffic inside ball to Ricky. Playing 40 out, 20 in western side. This is pure finals football here in Canberra. Carrigan, right to left they go. Walters, dummy, steps in field there. Smithies and Hosking get him on halfway. Last play, Brisbane trail by 2 points. 5:20 left here in Canberra. Hunt, Ben Hunt, shrugs the Hunt young tackle, puts up a high spiraling kick. The tough toss there. Staggs on the end of it though. Hops it back here for Tarpany. There was no one in support for the Broncos. So Tommy said thank you very much. The Canberra skipper has it. 20 out from that southern line. Raiders lead by 2, Louis. 5 left.
Yeah, well, what have Canberra got left in their tanks at the moment? All they've been doing for the last 10 minutes is defending, and you can see just how enthusiastic these Brisbane Broncos are at the moment. Canberra have got to get the ball long and deep into that corner of the Brisbane Broncos backfield.
Play for Raiders. Horsburgh, followed by Ben Hunt and Paddy Carrigan, 7 short of halfway. Canberra Starling dummy half. Smithies goes to ground here. Now the last, says referee Ash Klein. Starling goes short side right. Fogarty kicks for distance down that right edge. Taken down there on the wing by Karapani. Trots across the defensive line, stopped by Young, no spins clear of Young. Hosking gets him, 25 out, 4 minutes and 15 seconds left. Brisbane punching forward here with Dean Mariner, and he's 40 out, 20 in eastern side. Raiders 28, Broncos 26.
It'll be interesting to see, do the Broncos get up to the 40 and set up for the 2-point field goal, or do they go for the try?
Let's see what they do here, Louise. A good call. Jensen, 3-man tackle, breaks in, 42 out. Hunt, across here, Carrigan, still a couple of plays left. Left to right shift here, Walsh. Staggs slips over. They're setting up here, Louis. 32 out. Where's Reece Walsh? Pass comes to him. He's 42 out. Long range field goal. And it's on its way. And hits the crossbar. Comes back in the field of play. It's shades of 89. Balmain, Canberra. Raiders get the footy back. 20 out southern end. 3:20 left. 28-26.
Well, this last 13 minutes has been absolutely outrageous. He nearly gets that. It goes dead set straight over and hits Roy in the middle of the crossbar of the field goal. That was mind-blowing.
Unbelievable. Here's Jed Stewart, centre field run, taking 32 out. Raiders here on play 4. Can they hang on to the footy? Can they put this game to bed and score a try? 2:50 left. Raiders, the chant here in Canberra. 5 short of the halfway. Tackled ball and all. Here's that man out there in Fogarty. Now it comes to Strange. His kick spins up in the air. Batted back here by Tim McCall. The same 6-4. will be a scrum Brisbane.
That's the worst kick you could possibly come up with there. They've got to put it into the corner. You can't shank it and put a midfield bomb up in that situation, Spriggy. They had to get it long and deep into that corner and defend their set.
2:20 left, John Gibbs come in.
Well, half a knot more of breeze, and that kick of Walsh's goes over, and it landed on top of the bar and somehow didn't go over. That was remarkable in itself. This is an incredible game. Brisbane are running downhill.
So the Broncos, here they go, with Stacks, and he just drives them full. On the Western logo, tackled quite short of the halfway. Play it now for Walsh. This might be their last chance, just about. 2 minutes left here for the Broncos. Here comes something fun. Ricky Tuckle plays it now. Pace across now to Carrigan, to Hunt. Walsh ignites the far side. Missed Shimasaki, picked up by the Raiders. Kinnacore wins it back. 5 short of the halfway. 45 left. That might just be enough for the Raiders.
I'll get one more set, Ricky.
They'll get one more, the Broncos. Stewart plays it now. Hudson Young goes nowhere. Tries to fend off Smoothie. He's 6 minutes inside Broncos territory. Minute 28 left. Canberra leads by 2. Away they go. Simi Sasangi. Surrenders here on Corey Pates, 40 out. Play to Starling. Short side right, he goes. Hudson Young gains 7 or 8 more here for the Quakers. And now, still a couple of time up there, says Ash Klein. So conscious of seconds left in the game, as the Broncos are as well. On their second last play, Hosking, tackle, 22 out to the field. We'll play it now for Starling. 60 seconds left here, Raiders by 2. Both of you kicks without Easton. Touch the line and finds it. So, that'll be Brisbane's position there, Louis. 20 out. Can they overcome this 2-point deficit with 45 seconds left?
Yeah, they're pretty much going to get 4 plays here, maybe 5. But Reece Walsh, he's going to be the man here. And, I reckon I'll set up this right edge and I'll shift over that left side.
Staggs is really yardage here. Plays it 30 out. Off to Jordan Ricky. Centre field run, takes on Smithy, stands in a 3-man tackle. 40 out, middle of the park. 27 seconds left here. The field inside their own half here, Brisbane. Canberra leads by 2. Pass comes wide here again for Jensen. He's brought down by Sasangi. This is play 4 now, Broncos. Payne Haas. Gates that does it here. They're 42 out from the Canberra line. Hunt. Paig slims up with Carrigan. Back to Walsh. Long range. Charge down there by Smithies. Ricochets back to the Broncos. 3 seconds left. Can they run the footy here? They pile on the ball carrier. Shimasaki's going nowhere. And the Canberra Raiders they're going to a home prelim final.
Okay, we've got a video check. We've got no goal.
We're having a look at it. They're getting a captain's challenge here.
So is there contact on the kicker, Reece Walsh?
How do you get there? He lost their captain's challenge.
Gibbsy.
What's happened there is Reece Walsh has gone down as he kicked it. There's contact with his leg. There definitely is. There definitely is.
Yes.
So this will be a shot at goal to make it all level. So there you go. What a finish. This game, it promised everything and it has delivered in spades.
Because it was charged down Louis by Smithies or Young, but it was actually Hosking who had contact with the leg of Reece Walsh.
And we've seen the one on Nathan Cleary get done for this. And it was a lighter touch.
Yes.
This has to be a penalty.
Any contact on the kicker is the issue. So we're hearing the bunker here with Chris Butler. This talk about the risk of injury through a popular decision.
He's not looking at touching his legs. He's going away from it.
That runs through the kicking leg with a high risk of injury, so this is a penalty. The penalty will be 10 metres in front of the post as it is on the kicker on an attempted field goal.
10 metres out to level things up.
That's because where the ball landed.
On the kicker. So there's a field goal, it's 10 metres out.
Why is it 10 metres out? I didn't get that. Gibbsy's call. I think he's got the answer.
Gibbsy.
That's the rule. If you're going for field goal and the kicking leg is hit, if the kicker of the ball is interfered with, then it's a mandatory kick 10 metres out right in front. So that's the rule, Louis. It's not where the ball lands. If the attempted field field goal is knocked down. It is just a mandatory kick from in front of the sticks. It will be 28 all. We're going to extra time. And just repeating what you said earlier, Spriggy, 5 minutes each way, and then it goes to golden point. We have extra time, then golden point.
We did give you. I also realised that the ball didn't even go down there. It went ricocheted and went backwards. So, wow, this is huge. Could he hit the post, Gibbsy?
No. But what about the comeback? They were gone. They were getting buried. Had 2 plays in the bin. This has been a monumental comeback by Brisbane. This has been a reverse 2023 grand final when Penrith ran over the top of them.
You've got to feel for Hosking, mate.
Yeah. 18-12 half time. Home side scored the first 2 tries in the second half. Weeks and strange. 28-12. Walsh came back to his sin, and they lost Carrigan as well. They lost Pierre Curran to injury. Here is Reece Walsh. 10 metres out, directly in front for 28 points all. Oh, we're not done yet. This game deserved 10 more minutes. The Raiders fans hate it.
It did deserve another 10 minutes. The game has been absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, the Raiders fans will be filthy. I know Big Dem Dog up here is. He can't even watch.
He can't watch.
Yeah, this has been an amazing game of rugby league.
I just realised too, Louis, I'm on the last plane back. I'm not going to make it. I'm stuck here as well.
Don't worry, I've got a car, mate. You're more than happy to
Oh, yeah, that's handy, actually. 28-28 here. John Gibbs, down to you.
Well, the good thing about this as far as Canberra's concerned, yes, they didn't get home and they were desperately trying to stop that Reece Walsh 2-point field goal, but they have got a breather because they've been under the pump for what seems like about 25 minutes. Fair dinkum. Running downhill, the only people happy about this Cronulla.
Right, okay. I was going to say, you'll toss with no immediate call. It's probably less
That's a head.
of a...
You've got the option to kick off or choose which way you want to run. So, kick off. Okay, so which way do you want to run?
Kick off.
Okay, so you guys are good enough going that way.
From Sydney to Melbourne. There you go, Gibbsy. So that's north to south for those playing at home. 28 points all from what was 28-12. A 16-point turnaround led by that man, Reece Walsh. It's good in Louis that he had the final say in 80 minutes, Reece Walsh, and that 28-all scoreline.
Well, it's quite mind-blowing. Every time, Reece Walsh, gets highlighted for something, bad. It was a couple of weeks ago, it was the toilet. And now tonight, obviously, the headbutt and the bird and the show me the money. Yeah. When he comes back on the field, it's like he gets something on his back. I don't know what it is, and he comes out and performs. That last 15 minutes was an absolute masterclass from Reece Walsh. Seriously, he comes out, scores a try, 40-20, sets up a try, almost gets a 2-point field goal, then gets a penalty right on halfway and kicks the 2 points to take him to extra time.
Gives you the crowd number, please.
Yeah, 25,523. 25,523, which is absolute capacity. And what about the conversion? He missed 2. One of them hit the post, as you say, Louis, but then he rectified it. He got a conversion from the touchline as well.
Unbelievable. 25,523 makes it the biggest crowd this year by far at Canberra Stadium. It's actually the 5th biggest rugby league crowd ever, which includes test matches as well. So there you go, Louis. That's just shy of that 2016 final for Cronulla, who played here in mid-September. Kick-off Broncos. Extra time underway. 28 points all. Horsburgh Chargers back into Pakes and also in there Jensen and Haas play at 15 out. We don't have golden point until after 90 minutes. 20 out here, the Raiders. Played by Smithies. Starling. Off now, Sasungi. Takes on the 2-man tackle. 30 out, 20 in western side. Starling across now here for Zach Hosking. 35 out in the middle of the park. Midway for the set now for the Canberra Raiders. Starling feeds it on here back to Big Red, Corey Horsburgh. Carrigan stops him. So too in there. Takes 5 short of the halfway. And now it's kicked into the set from Foden. High in the air for Reece Walsh. The crowd rides it with him. They'd love to see a drop ball there from Reece Walsh when he feeds the pass back here to his winger Karapani, and the Broncos start their set.
Yeah, not too bad a set there for Canberra, and they've got to remember that it's not a field goal-a-thon now, so they've just got to be patient again and get back into a rhythm of an arm wrestle and play field position.
35 out here. Dean Mariner will play it to Walters. Short side left from dummy half to find Shibasaki. 8 metres short of the halfway. Broncos have fought their way back in this game. Smoothie and Horsburgh charging towards him. Holds the footy here in the Smithies, and also Fogarty as Pakes back now playing Haas. Receives the ball from his captain Carrigan and Haas. And this last play, will play it there for Corey Pakes. Right side he comes to the kick of Ben Hunt. High in the air, up there a long time for the wing, and bringing it down out there is Tamale, and he'll play it 20 out, 12 in from the eastern side. Dummy half Strange, on to Sebastian Chris. Lost one of their thighs, lost the ball. Canberra error, 25 out from their own line. We've played 2 minutes in this first half of extra time, still with 3 minutes left. John Gibbs down to you on the touchline.
Yeah, and just a reminder also that you get 2 interchanges because they use their interchanges. 2 interchanges come into it. I don't think Owen Paddy has been used in this game, by the way. Tom Starling has a good game, but Owen Paddy's got some dash. Chris makes a bad error there, but no panic because they've still got 10 minutes to get out of it.
Neil points out, Louis, the Sharks would love this, wouldn't they? Playing one of these beat-up teams next week.
Absolutely. This is the best thing that's happened for the Sharks.
Here they come, Walters. Left out top of the scrum. Shibasaki slips over there with some slight contact from Timacor. Play at 20 out. 50 in western side here for the Broncos. Off here to Jensen. In that wall of green jumpers there. So Sungy. Jensen now plays it. Pakes off to the right-hand side. Carrigan. And he takes on Smithies and Sungy. 5 out. Dead centre here for Buddy Carrigan. Play to Pakes. Right-hand side, Ben Hunt. Looks to find Reece Walsh. Comes back though open side now for Ricky, his back rower. And he's making a post-contact gain here. He's a metre shy. Up against that right-hand goalpost padding. Couple of plays left here, Broncos. Pakes to Walters. Left-hand side, Walsh. A little bump there as he gets the path to Shibasaki. Last play, Broncos deep in that northwestern corner of Canberra Stadium. 90 seconds left, first half extra time. Walsh, crossfield bomb, skids across here, but Chris, was he claimed in the air? I reckon he was. Ashley Klein, as Chris comes down heavily, is saying, this looks pretty open shut to me, because Staggs comes over the back of him, Louis, but he's not deemed to have tackled Sebastian Chris in the air. That is, and the crowd hate that, and they're probably within their rights to do so, to feel that way. Tamale plays it here, 40 out. Play for Canberra. Hosky backs his way into Pakes, and he's planned on halfway here. Minute left, first half extra time. Raiders, 28. Brisbane, 28. Horsburgh, wrapped up by Carrigan. Play to Starling. Open side right. Long range goes Fogarty, 45 out. Field goal comes up well short. Arrives 10 out on the chest there of Josiah Karapani. And he's 30 out, 20 in western side. 35 seconds left in this first half of extra time. We've got 5 minutes and then potentially golden point. Quarter final. These two teams have hammered each other. We've had sin bins, injuries, plenty of points, 28 all. Shibasaki goes from dummy half. Gains a quick 10, and he's still on that Western logo, 5 short of the halfway. 20 seconds left on play 3. Carrigan. Across it comes to Ben Hunt. Now Staggs takes on Strange. Pops out the offload here. Up that side goes Mariner. And he takes on Smithies. Stopped there by Starling and Smithies. 35 out. This is the last seconds of the first half extra time. Walsh finds playing harsh. He runs the ball. It's only choice. Offloads here. Back to Pakes. Long range attempt. No. Walsh in that room. Pass goes wide. Almost was there for Karapani. But Jed Stewart tips it just over the western touchline. And we have the first half of extra time done. 85 minutes. It's still 28 all. Raiders, Broncos, down to you, John Gibbs.
Oh, that was a close thing, wasn't it? It's almost going to be away, Karapani. Just going back to Tamale being taken down with the ball. Well, he did the same thing down the other end, and he was penalised. So that's why you can be a little bit confused. But let's not take away from this outstanding game of football. 5 more minutes to go, and then it's just till the first team scores. So you've got another 5 minutes. So we could be here to midnight.
I was just thinking that, Gibbsy. I was just thinking that game back in, was it Sydney Football Stadium, and was it the Tigers and the Roosters? It went for like 100 minutes or something.
Something like that, and there was a Super League game where Noel Goldthorpe broke it, and it was the longest game on record. Now, limping from the field is Corey Horsburgh. He's limping from the field, and
it's cramps.
And cramps, I'd say, and on comes Joe Tarpany. But just by the way, it is cramps. Just confirming, he's just down in front of me. But Corey Horsburgh has won his last 12 games here at Canberra Stadium.
And Paddy's just come on the field as well.
Paddy's come on and Sebastian Christ is off. So they're going for a little bit of speed, a little bit of freshness.
Okay, so 85 minutes played, still 28 all here. 0467920222. Only 4 finals games, 100% have been determined by early stages by poor calls. What a disgrace. That'll do me, says James and Bundy. Fair dinkum. Miles actually called Golden Point earlier. I thought he was crazy at 28-12. Miles is in New Hampshire, USA. He called it. So we may yet get there. But there's still 5 minutes left to see if we can't split the Raiders and the Broncos, Louis.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely get through this 5. I reckon we're definitely going extra time. What do you reckon?
Yeah, feels that way. That's bracing myself for that. Fogarty kicks it down towards that northern goal line. Jensen runs it back here. Off to Zach Hosking. 17 out, 10 in from the eastern side. That eastern side of the ground here. Left edge the Broncos in attack. Right edge Canberra defence. Played by Smoothie. To Pace. Open side right, Carrigan. Off here again, Ben Hunt. Inside here to Jordan Ricky. He's wrapped up by Papali'i. 30 out, 20 in Western touch. Pace across the left here for Carrigan. On play for Brisbane. Can they shape it left to it? A quick run from Walsh. Off here to Shibasaki. Still going. Is Garapani. Wasn't forward, yes. But goal did come from either ref or touchy. And they can bring it back. Canberra ball on halfway. We've got 4 minutes left here. 28 all. John Gibbs.
Yeah, that was amazing. We're just thinking, so that was forward. A close run thing though, but that was a break that they needed, Canberra, because they were away. Shibasaki has had a fantastic last 30 minutes or so.
It's funny too though, for the Brisbane Broncos, they didn't, in the first 5 minutes of the extra time, they didn't go to their left edge once. That left edge is lethal. They need to sit up right and shift left if they want to make Canberra pay the price.
3.5 left in extra time. We may get to 90 minutes and then Golden Point. Simi Sasangi. Tackled on the halfway line, 20 western side. There's Paddy out there now on Paddy. So a fresh pair of legs here at dummy half for the Canberra Raiders. Paddy goes open side right. Smithy's Papali'i. Back here to Fogarty. Weeks down the tackle there of Shibasaki. And now ankle tap, 35 out, 20 in from the eastern side. 2:59 left in this second half of extra time. Smithies, 30 out centre field, 28 all. Did they go field goal attempt here? Not quite yet, of course. Paddy off to Hudson Young, 25 out. Burns away from Carrigan. Darts back in there on Walters. Put down, 15 out, 20 in eastern side. And this is last play Canberra. Fogarty winds up field goal from just in front.
Time off.
He misses.
7 tackles set.
So, 7 tackles set. The restart from 20 here for the Broncos. It remains Gibbsy. 28 all Raiders. Broncos 2.5 left.
Yeah, 2.5 left. That's a big start there. So, perfect time for them to take the ball down the other end of the field and get the points needed.
Stags up that right edge run here. Playing 35 out. Played now. Pace. Open side left here to Jordan Ricky. Put down 6 short of the halfway. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left here at Canberra Stadium. The place is going nuts. 25,500 here, by the way. Ben Hunt to Walsh. On to Shibasaki. Offloads back here. Can't play. Wasn't for that time. So it's play 3. Make it 4 coming up here for Brisbane. 30 out, 5 in eastern side. Do they go field goal attempts? They've got some time here. Couple of plays. Through hands it comes. Ben Hunt. Playing halves. He stands and surrenders there on Papali'i. Takes off to Billy Walters. He's within 25 now of Canberra's line. Last play Brisbane. Pakes back here to Walsh. Line it up 30 out. Charged down by Hudson Young. Ricochets back there for the Canberra wings. Stewart. Minute 30 left here.
That's huge. That's
Canberra
huge
win the footy back, Louis.
Massive play there from Hudson Young. He had plenty of time there, Reece Walsh. Hudson Young just puts that extra effort in and gets the charge down, and we keep this game alive.
35 out on that southern line. The Raiders on the attack. What do these teams have left? 60 seconds before golden point. Paddy links up with Tarpany. 3 Broncos following him up on halfway here. Paddy goes short side right. Weeks shows some dash over the 40. Has a bit of beat there, won't beat Carrigan nor Rick. 50 seconds left. Last play, Canberra. Paddy across here. Fogarty not quite set for the kick. Strange carries the ball here. Burns past one. Offload comes. It is to Sunny. He dives away. Burns away from Walsh. He's just run down. He said 6 more Canberra, Ash Klein. He said it was 6 more.
I saw him held, no, but then he passed the ball. So he's entitled to play it.
Canberra's play the ball. Play one, set
So,
restart.
set restart Canberra. They get 6 more tackles right in front of you, Gibbsy.
Yeah, it was definitely a touch. It was a fingernail, but it was a touch.
Okay.
26 seconds to get a point.
Okay, so Sunny will play it 8 away, deep in that northwestern corner of Canberra Stadium. Tamale, off here to Hudson Young. He's claimed 9 out. So a full set here, 20 seconds. The clock ticks down. Paddy, back here for Bodie. He's set for the kick, no. Back to Papali'i. And he shares it with Paddy. They cut it out, intercepted by Mariner. But he's spun the ground here by Hudson Young. And now he plays it, dodged on by Stags. 3 seconds left. This absolutely crazy final will conclude at 90 minutes and still 28 points all. We've got golden point, Luke Lewis, in the qualifying final.
I've got to say, that was a bit of a dumb play by Canberra, that whole last 30 seconds. They had a perfect opportunity just to drive 2 straight to the middle of the field and have 2 setups. Have one on the right, one on the left, and one right behind the back of the ruck, and then have a crack at the field goal. But for some reason, they went back to the left and they tried to score the try. They let that opportunity go begging there, the Canberra Raiders.
Gibbsy come in from the touchline.
Oh, wow. Well, Hudson Young's charge down was fantastic. It was phenomenal down the other end because he runs the risk of touching the leg of the player, but they didn't need to play that ball. And it was Josh Papali'i. He's got more games than anyone. He should have just put his head down, taken a tackle, quick play the ball, Fogarty can snap, and they win the game 29-28.
Go to kick off or choose which way.
So,
Which you want to receive, you choose which way. Okay, so you guys are kicking off, coming back this way.
So the Broncos will kick off.
Broncos kicking that way.
As you heard there from referee Ashley Klein, chatting to Paddy Carrigan and Joe Tarpany. Who wins from here, Louis?
Oh, I don't know, to be fair. It is so hard to pick. It's going to come down to one silly mistake. I really believe that. But Brisbane are looking very sharp in attack on the left-hand side with Reece Walsh and Shibazaki over there on that left side. For Canberra, they just need a little bit of field position. And KO Weeks has got to be the man to step up with his running game. He looks super dangerous. And Fogarty's just got to get himself steady if he gets an opportunity for a field goal. You can't just keep taking them too, because if you give a 7-tackle set, it's going to give the opposition team an opportunity. So you've got to be pretty strategic here.
Off the SNS, Knights and Rassies listening to the ABC broadcast on the app in Liscanor in Ireland. Wherever you're joining us at a packed 25,500 strong Canberra Stadium. The atmosphere's been electric. The Raiders led 28-12. The Broncos hit back. There were 3 sin bins all up. 2 of them for the Broncos. It's been just pure Week 1 finals carnage. And as we said, Louis, the loser of this faces the Sharks next week.
Well, they'll be rubbing their hands together at the moment. They want this game to go for another 20. Do you have that in your spring?
Yeah. Bronchi says this game should be the grand final. It still could be. These teams could play each other again. That's, of course, how the system allows it. Broncos kick off, and they'll run right to left. The Raiders bring the ball back from that northern line here at Canberra Stadium. Papali'i swerves inside there on Carrigan. He's claimed 15 out, 20 from the eastern side. With you until 7 o'clock, by the way, so I'll have a full wrap-up here because the game might still be going. Unbelievable. Paddy, short side left here. On to Hudson Young. 25 out, 20 from the eastern side. Paddy here here for the Raiders on play 3 with Smith. He's been busy in the second half with Smithies. Pass academy to AJ earlier as well. 40 out. Now comes Tarpany. Off here. It bounced off Carrigan. Walters in there as well as Jensen on halfway Raiders. Last play. Kick from Fogarty. It goes down that right-hand side of the park. Goes high in the air to Reece Walsh. Came out from his own line. Broncos have possession here in Golden Point. 91 minutes played here at Canberra Stadium. It's still the Raiders and Broncos 28 all. Here goes Staggs. And he make the break. Good defence out there from Sasungi and also Tamale. 30 out. Ricky angles his run here into Owen Paddy. Papali'i's in there as well. 40 out, 20 in, eastern side. Open side, left they come. Ben Hunt. Inside now, Carrigan. Flick pass. Back to Jordan Ricky. And Paddy meets him. So, couple tackles left this set now for the Broncos. 5 short of the halfway. To Payne Haas it comes. That's their best carry so far of this set. And he's 5 inside Canberra Raiders territory. Minute 40 left in Golden Point as it comes here to Reece Walsh. Running kick downfield. Stewart will take it 20 out here for the Raiders. And they'll start their set. Minute 50 left on the clock. 15 out from their own line.
No, there's no time on the clock now. The time just keeps going up.
It does, doesn't it? You're right. So there we go. As Gibsy said. So the clock does just sort of reset. And away they go with Tamala. 35 out centre field. Paddy. Off here. Again to a strong run from Sasungi. 8 short of halfway. And a dummy half goes on Paddy. Shares it with Smithies. And all the Broncos in the meet him. Smoothie and Haas. And now it's coming to Fogarty. And he kicks. Drop punt. High in the air. It'll land 20 out. Stewart bats it back in for Hosking. On to Fogarty. And Fogarty streaks away and scores the game-winning try to cap off the most unbelievable qualifying final. Ben Van and Mean. And they'll host a prelim final here in a couple of weeks' time. They have withstood an all-time Brisbane Broncos comeback. And Jamal Fogarty has scored the winning try behind the posts. Raiders 32, Broncos 28. They're throwing beer cans, they're going nuts. The pyro's going off. That brings an end to the most unbelievable qualifying final, Luke Lewis.
Absolutely amazing. The kick, there wasn't much going on. Jamal puts the kick up, and then Jed Stewart, he comes flying down that right edge. He doesn't want to catch it, he's just going to make a play and taps it back. Ends up in Jack Hoskins' hands. And then Jamal Fogarty, he's pushing up, and there it is. He just has to run towards the try line and put it down. And it's try time.
Pump the song with us, come on. Hang on,
they're looking at a knock on here. Oh, this could not be over.
Now Stewart goes up, that's the main thing here. They started wearing the song, but you're going to double check. Take your time, says Rambash Blind to...
Yeah, there is a bit of... It definitely does come off a Broncos play, but does it come off Jed's hand first?
So, Stewart, it's back.
I don't reckon it comes off Jed Stewart at all. It doesn't touch him at all.
Well, it's the best scenario for the players anyway, but otherwise he's batted it back and it's come off Karapani, I reckon, worst case.
Oh no, he touches his hand, it goes into Karapani. It's going to be a knock-on.
Knock-on Jed Stewart.
I reckon it's going to be a knock-on Jed Stewart.
Gibbsy, come in.
Hang on. That's a knock-on Jed Stewart. It's a knock-on Jed Stewart. The game goes on.
Oh, my goodness. Oh. I don't have it in me. Look at the right hand here of Jed Stewart. He flicks the ball. We just need perspective of where it goes.
Just consider Bucky where the hands are in relation to each other, like inside and outside.
Yeah, he hits his hand and goes down. I reckon it's a knock-on. You see his hand,
so it's the right finger of Jed Stewart first, then the hand of Josiah. The ball goes forward into the Broncos. The first knock-on will be Canberra. We have a decision.
Wow. Yeah, he gets it right there.
The winning try for Fogarty disallowed, and it will remain at 28 points all.
Yeah, look, as much as you were here in Canberra and see the crowd go nuts, that is the right call there from the bunker.
Gibbsy, down to you.
Unequivocally the right call. And what about the emotions of Ricky Stewart? He's seen his son. He thinks Jed Stewart has got up there, chased the kick, put it back, but it wasn't to be, 3 minutes into Golden Point, and we go on. We're going to be here for a long time.
The clock counts up to a conclusion. 30 out to their own line of the Brisbane Broncos. Smoothie across now for Jensen. At a ground like this, in a situation like that, because the crowd goes nuts, there is no really understanding of how that's going to be called back. Here they go, the Broncos. Reece Walsh over halfway, and this is both with the counter here for the Brisbane Broncos. Haas, and now it is last play in fact. 35 out. Can they go field goal here? Smoothie finds Hunt, lined it up, 35 out on its way, and he has got it! Shaves up the right hand, the Bronco goes in! The Broncos have stolen it! Disallowed development, he tried the other end, and Ben Hunt, the veteran, ices it for the field goal. 29-28. It's the Broncos. Well, they say up the milk, but the cream rises to the top. And Ben Hunt is the qualifying final hero here. Reece Walsh is going nuts, doing a mock lightning clap for the Canberra fans. Their fans are going nuts here as well. But Ben Hunt, the hero, we'll see it front on here, Louis. We're going to just shaved off that one, I reckon. It's our first replay. It did indeed, and went through. The Broncos 29, the Raiders 28.
Yeah.
All the emotions for the Canberra fans.
Oh, absolutely. It's unbelievable. What we just witnessed, this game was absolutely phenomenal. But I was just watching Ben Hunt the whole time. As soon as he kicked that goal, he put his hands up. He was on...
Look at Madge.
Yeah, looking at Madge now. But I tell you what, the Canberra Raiders are absolutely cooked. They're going to have a big one next week. But you know what? I'm so happy for Ben Hunt as well. He's had some rough times when it comes to grand final. Everyone remembers him for the drop ball. And now he's just come up with a massive play for the Brisbane Broncos to get him one game short of the grand final.
This game deserves a half-hour wrap-up. We'll get you all that. And the post-game reaction with Gibbsy very shortly. 25,000 go home disappointed, but we certainly won't. Most neutrals. 29-28, the Broncos win. A home prelim in 2 weeks' time at Lane Park. There'll be chockers there as well. They'll get double this crowd, and they'll be just as lively and all the things there for finals footy. Keeping an eye on you, Gibbsy, and once you've got someone, just fire away, because this instant reaction is just absolutely gold. But they would be feeling all the emotions right now, both sides, Louis, because the Raiders thought they had it. We all thought they had it as well. Jamal Fogarty, and then Ben Hunt, the hero there at the end. Unbelievable.
It's absolutely unbelievable. Just the emotions on the sideline. Ricky Stewart, but they thought they won that game twice. Then they're right on the bell. Reece Walsh gets his leg tapped by Zach Hosking. They get a penalty in front, takes it to extra time. They thought they had the game won there. We had the Green Machine song going. Fogarty goes over, but they call it a knock-on. 1 set later, Ben Hunt steps up and kicks a field goal right in the middle of the field and gets the win and takes them one game short of the grand final.
All right, down to you, Gibbsy.
Yeah, Reece Walsh, what a game, Reece. In your young career, plenty happened in it, but just the fact that it was extra time, Golden Point, absolutely amazing. How are you feeling?
Oh, mate. What a roller coaster of a game, mate. Holy. Man, final time, it means jack shit when you do in season. It's about these games here, so I just want to go get amongst our fans. They travelled from Brizzy to be with us, mate.
Just a brief one, 28-12, what were you thinking?
Oh, mate, we know the team that we are, mate, when we put it together, so probably some big lessons we took out of that. We just got to keep getting one at a time, mate.
You walked towards the crowd anyway, mate, but it's a fantastic win. You came on out of the sin, but you put it on.
Well, he's going out with the Broncos fans, Gibbsy. He's brushed you briefly there, but it's all part of the emotion here for the Brisbane Broncos. They've got those blocks of fans on the eastern side of the ground, the southeastern corner of the ground. There'd be a couple of thousand, I reckon. Well and truly outnumbered, but they are loving every second of this, Louis.
Yeah, they are. Oh. They're absolutely loving it. I think Reece Walsh is loving it a lot too. He's cuddling every person next to him, which is good to see. He had a big go against him.
Gibbsy, down to you.
Hudson Young, a game like he's played, doesn't deserve to lose, and he's got plenty of mates in that but you've got to give credit to Brisbane. But wow, Hudson, what a game!
Yeah, it was a great game. We knew what we had to do. Come out in the second half, and for whatever reason, this is what finals is about, is little moments, and we had them at 28-12, and that should be good enough to win the game with 10 to go. But here's what it is. We're back in next week, and we'll do it our way.
I mean, what a crowd. Seriously, it was a privilege to be here as a commentator. I know you boys gave it all. You've gone down by a point in one of the most incredible finals games, but what about the crowd?
Yeah, it was awesome, mate. They turned up in numbers, and that's why we love playing here every week, and we love our community, we love our fans, but stick with us because we're back here next week, and we'll get the job done.
Okay, now, you got sent to the sin bin. For getting in Reece Walsh's face. So nothing happened. He gives you a little bit of a noggin, and it was quite incredible. I think you were hard done by.
Yeah, well, if that's the way they're going to go, they need to be consistent with that. It's a part of the game. If you make a mistake, you should be allowed to sledge someone. I've never seen someone get sent off before for just mucking around with a mate, but it's what it is.
Hudson, what about when Jamal Fogarty, Jet Stewart's got up there? You think the crowd goes nuts. You think you've won the game, and then you've got to reset again.
Yeah, but that's all part of it. Yeah, it was a tough call. V's nicking it, and that's what finals is about, is owning them moments, and credit to Brisbane for doing that.
Well, I've got a lot of young players, but they still have Kyle Weeks, Ethan Strange, so they were phenomenal. Josh Papali, everyone went well. You just had that period where you just clocked off.
Yeah, it's a good learning curve for the young blokes. NRL and finals are one-on moments, and you can't for a second think the game's over. It's a good learning curve for us young boys, and we'll be better for it.
Well, you get Cronulla next week, and I think they wanted it to go longer, that extra time.
It's all good, mate. It is what it is. We would have went another 20 if we had to.
Hudson, well done. I know you're devastated, mate, but thanks for joining ABC Sport. Always appreciate it.
Cheers, thank you.
John Gibbs with Hudson Young. Played a fantastic game, didn't he, Louis?
Yeah, he did. Very strong out there on the edge. Come up a couple of big plays. But even the biggest play was that charge down early that kept the Raiders in the fight. And then all of a sudden they could have won the game, but just a couple of things didn't go their way. But, yeah, he had a good game tonight.
A 93-minute field goal from Ben Hunt. I can't even begin to recount all the things that happened, Louis. It was frantic. There was, of course, that late penalty before 80 minutes full time, which gave them, leveled the scores 28-all, and then we had a full 10 minutes before.
You know where it all happened? It was the little scuffle between Hudson Young and Reece Walsh. Wasn't really much doing there, right? And then all of a sudden, they get two guys in the bin. Then Weeks goes the length. They score a couple of tries. They get out to a really good lead. Reece Walsh comes on and turns the game on its head. He comes out, he kicks a 40-20. He scores a try. He sets up a try. Almost kicks a 40-metre field goal to take an extra time. Right at the death, he gets a penalty put on him. The bell had gone. The Canberra Raiders thought they won. They get a penalty 10 metres out in front of the goal, and all of a sudden there we were in extra time. There was so much going on in that game. It's a game I've never experienced before. Glad to be down here and experience it, but wow.
We're going to hear from the QFH, qualifying final hero, Ben Hunt, very soon, I expect, but there's obviously a big line of demand for him. So what a finish here. Your texts have come through. We'll get to those in a sec. A lot of those have come through in the last half hour. It's obviously been an enthralling game of footy. 0467 920 222. And Payne Haas is with you, Gibbsy.
Payne Haas. Well, Payne, he went off after 23 minutes. Why did you go off so early, first of all?
No. That's usually the rotations. I'll come off a bit early to come back on. But yeah, that's just our rotation.
Okay, before we talk about your foot and the brave effort, what about that game? I mean, wow, that was, to watch it, I was nervous, let alone you being out there.
Yeah, that's what we spoke about that. We knew this game was going to be like that, and Canberra's been a form team, and I'm sure we're going to see each other again. But yeah, very, very happy now, but it's time to be present, enjoy this win, and get ready to work next week.
And it was a hard game. There was so much brilliance, but it was pretty brutal. You had a good clash with Josh and Joe up front.
Yeah, they're the best forward pack in the comp by far, and we wanted to match it with them, and we knew it was going to be tough, and yeah, I'm really proud of the boys.
Okay, now what happened with your foot? I know you got hurt, and I'm thinking I know you had a Liz Frank problem this time last year. You probably got a bit nervous when you hurt your foot as well. What's the situation?
Just rolled my ankle. I think I'm just real unco, so I rolled my ankle twice in the same game, so yeah, it's all good.
Now, I've got to ask you, what about Reece Walsh? I mean, fair dinkum. I mean, he had everything Reece Walsh today, and he comes in, he must get in there and look in the mirror and give himself a pep talk, because when he came out of the sim bit, it was unbelievable. He turned the game.
Yeah, that's Walsh. He's a game changer. But it's not just Walsh. I think all the boys have put in a big effort today. We could have gave up when we were down 2 players, but I thought we dug deep, and very proud of it.
I think the way the game's gone, it's pretty important. You're going to have a week off.
Yeah, 100%. We heard that. We got that momentum, but yeah, it's about being present and worrying about the prelim.
Payne, one of the great games. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, mate.
Payne Haas there on ABC Sport speaking with John Gibbs. So, yes, indeed, a home prelim final for the Brisbane Broncos in 2 weeks' time. Of course, Melbourne plays the other one, and that'll be for the Broncos. They'll host the winner of Canterbury and Penrith. Gibbsy, down to you.
And Ben Hunt, I was just saying, it's only his second field goal. He said he reckons he's had 30 or 40 shots. He hasn't been very good, but you hit that one well, and your reaction, you knew straight away. It was like a goal from the US Masters, knowing he's got an 8-foot putt to win.
Mate, honestly, I got a bit nervous after I put the hands up. It's a bit of wind there, and it started fading right, and it's heading towards the post. But yeah, it just dropped in, mate. And what a way to finish it. That was a wild game, you know. They're a superb side, Canberra, and we did enough just to hang around. And Walsh got us back into the game there. And yeah, it's a special game.
Yeah, 28-12 down. Wasn't panic, obviously, but you had more ball in the first half. You had a period where they got away from you. I thought, the game's gone, but you boys, that left-hand side attacking was brilliant.
Yeah, mate, when we went down to 11 players, and to be honest, got pretty nervous out there and felt pretty worrisome, but we just did enough to hang around till we can get all our players back in. Walsh went to work on the left edge there and got us back into it.
He's a freakish talent. I mean, when he goes to the bin, he's giving it to the crowd. He just has got it all. He's infectious to be around. I've got to say, watching from you can't take your eyes off him. I suppose it's a bit like that for you playing with him.
Yeah, mate, he lives for the game. He really does. He cops a lot of flack for his shenanigans off the field and whatnot, but he's an absolute student of the game, and he lives for it. He works harder than anyone at our club, and I love that he's really hitting his straps in the back end of this year.
Benny, you've been around forever. This is one of the most extraordinary games.
Mate, it is. I've played plenty of Golden Point games that have gone different ways and things, but yeah, that was an extraordinary one. Canberra got a try disallowed towards the end there, and it was kind of like it was just meant to be our night.
What were you thinking when Jamal Fogarty, you think you were done?
Oh yeah, I 100% thought it was a try. Like, I didn't see that young Stewart tapped it at all, so yeah, I thought it was a try, mate.
Were you aware of this big crowd here? They were making a racket.
Oh mate, they've always had a good crowd down here, so I knew what we're walking into, and whenever they've gone on runs in the past, their crowd's really got behind them, and I love the Viking Club coming down here to that. It sort of gets you going, and yeah, they're a special crowd, mate. They really are.
Well, Benny, one of the great games. Well done. Winning field goal, 29-28. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it.
Ben Hunt with the 93rd minute field goal here at Canberra Stadium, and just unbelievable, Louis. So 29-28, the Broncos, and so they will face the winner of Canterbury and Penrith in their prelim at Lane Park in a couple of weeks' time. The Raiders have to come back and do it all again here next week against the Sharks.
It'll be a tough one next week. The Sharkies, they'll be up for it. They'll know how hard Canberra had to work tonight, but they also would watch this game knowing just how hard this game's going to be next week. So, yeah, you've got to feel for Canberra that they go down to the tough one, but they're going to have another one just like this, I reckon, next weekend.
Get to your text, 0467920222. Well, boys, what a game. The Raiders should have won it, but we'll take it, says Ballina Bronco. Why was Canberra penalised for charging down Walsh's field goal, and why was the penalty in front of the post, asked Chris. Yeah, in case you missed it, Chris, because Zach Hosking made contact with the leg of Reece Walsh. Any contact to a kicker, obviously, is cracked down on. However, any contact on a field goal attempt is deemed to be
10 metres out.
10 metres out. So that's
directly in front.
Yeah, a bit like if you foul the shooter in basketball, you get you get free throws, and we get three.
Well, it's the first time we've probably we've actually got to see that, I think, because you don't normally Yeah, see, I've never seen that anyway. It's my first time I've seen it.
The greatest game gives us the greatest finish. It's never over until it's over. Go the Broncos. A couple of texts have asked, will Walsh be suspended for his headbutt? So we don't know. It didn't. You would say in principle, Louis, headbutts would be a suspension, but is your feeling that he would be or not?
Oh look, I don't know. It was definitely a headbutt. But I don't want to be seeing Reece Walsh missing an AG semi-final for it. I reckon it might be a fine. I'm not too sure. There'll be something about it though, because he definitely goes into Hudson Young and leads with his forehead into his chin. So look, there's going to be something that comes up about it. Fingers crossed, it's not a suspension.
So 18
purely for the game.
Well, I'm sure that won't be any consolation to Raiders fans necessarily.
No, absolutely not. But
you're right. I mean, it's just the game turned so much from that point. So 18-12 half-time. Raiders have all the momentum. They scored 2 tries. Week scores his second try after half-time. Ethan Strange scores again. That was in the 55th minute. It's 28-12. Thinking, okay, they're 1 try away.
Yep.
And that was when we had Reece Walsh in the bin, Hudson Young as well, mind you. So it was 12-12. Carrigan goes to the bin. You think the Raiders score a try, the game's done. But this sort of stalemate continues for a little while longer. Walsh comes back on, scores in the 65th minute. He scores, then Karapani, he puts up Karapani into the corner as well for 28-20. And then that momentum was with them, isn't it? Shibasaki for 28-24, then 28-26. We thought the game was done then, and then there was that penalty on Reece Walsh's field goal attempt. Raiders fans will say, well, beyond the chance of suspension or whatever else, he shouldn't have been out there. If he was going to be in, he should have been sent off or whatever, and he shouldn't have had any further impact on the game.
I don't think it was a send-off.
Oh, I understand that people will feel aggrieved by that, but as you say, as a neutral, gee whiz, the game just kept delivering in so many ways, and Reece Walsh was the architect of a lot of that. And yeah, that penalty, 28-all full time. We played an extra 10 minutes for still 28-all. There were field goal attempts. There was that Reece Walsh effort off the crossbar, Benny Elias style. It was just ridiculous. In the end, Ben Hunt in the 93rd minute makes it 29-28 in front of 25,523, the crowd here. Brett in Funnels, Queensland says Walsh should be gone for at least a game for his crap that got him sent to the bin. A lot of you are just saying stuff about the refs, and I don't want to discount all your texts, but there's a lot of them, so I'll just sort of pull them in there. Nick in Melbourne says, I guess the biggest takeaway from all that is don't get Reece Walsh fired up.
Thinking the exact same thing.
Artie from Mackay says, if Reece Walsh doesn't get suspended for his headbutt, it will be the end of my 6 years of following rugby league. He should have been sent off for that, says Artie from Mackay. Walsh is the new Lockyer. There's lots of love for Reece Walsh, lots of hate for Reece Walsh, lots of hate for the refs and all that sort of stuff as well. It's just all the emotions you expect from an absolutely epic final here as John Gibbs rejoins us up in the ABC Sport commentary box.
Well, if you can take all of these things into account, but Canberra still had the game there to win.
Yeah.
They had the game at their mercy. That's the thing about it. But Reece Walsh, I'd like to see the contact, because sometimes, you just make a little bit of contact and it could be a fine. If he's had a red hot go, it's a different matter, which a Liverpool kiss. You don't see that anymore. But in essence, you heard from Hudson Young, he sledged him.
He shouldn't have got 10 minutes.
He shouldn't have got 10 minutes.
I can understand the Reece Walsh 10 minutes pure, because I think from the view that I saw, it looked like he leant forward and he used his forehead on Hudson Young.
Yeah.
So I think both of them going off was a silly call. But at the end of the day, the game, for me, really started right at that point. Both go off. Then we get another 10 minutes in the bin. Patrick Carrigan gets done for
he'll
be more trouble than I think than Reece Walsh. I think Reece Walsh might get a fine.
Right in the mush he's hit him with some force. And I said before the game, I was worried about the right-hand defence for Canberra. And it took them ages to go there, because Timokor is vulnerable in defence. He's playing with a new kid in Jed Stewart who got caught out just by the speed and the beautiful hands of Reece Walsh. I mean, look, we thought these finals were going to be epic. Well, that was epic.
That was the best game that I've seen for a long time.
From Dollar Chill, Ricardo is not a fan of Ash Klein. Pete says, I feel for young Jed Stewart. Yeah, indeed. I forgot to mention that as well, of course, which we thought he batted back for the game-winning try for Jamal Fogarty. And as much as we thought, they were blaring the Canberra song and they were all celebrating, It was called back, and I mean, he gave it his best effort. It's not like it was
the game, you talk about game management, and as I said, it was Josh Papali'i. He did a good job because he got an offload, but they didn't need an offload. They had a matter of a couple of seconds to go, take one tackle, go for field goal.
There's a lot they learn out of that Canberra side, because there was a couple of things that they just sort of, when they had their backs against the wall, they weren't calm. They weren't patient when it come to defending and just going through their sets. Then when they had their opportunity to go down the other end and score, you're right, they come back to the left, they try to score a try instead of set up for a field goal and have three different options. They had plenty of time to do that with 30 seconds left on the clock. So there was a couple of things that they didn't do too well, and then I think they just got a little bit flustered. And when you got players like Reece Walsh, that he lives for their moments, and we'll talk about it before the game. Tonight's going to be about moments, and he just took those 4 or 5 moments back to back, and it really made the Canberra Raiders nervous, and they didn't know how to get away from that nerves.
What about the 2-point field goal, which almost went over, hit on top of the crossbar? But what about the 2 40-20s? He's got 5 40-20s this year, by far and away the most of anyone.
Yeah, but he kicked that 40-20 too, like it was just a normal.
It could have been a
Chip and Jake's
10-50.
Jay in Queensland says the Raiders had it stolen away from them. What a joke. I'm done with rugby league. So many inconsistencies in refereeing. Get ready for a riot at Canberra. Take care, you guys. There's no riot forthcoming quite at the moment, and there's still Broncos fans milling about here and sort of soaking up this win because they get the week off, which is very important, especially after a game like that.
I can get the feeling of the text message there. Seriously, that would have been so hard. Sitting, I don't know if they were here or at home, but sitting at home, if you're a Canberra fan on that lounge watching that game, I reckon it would have been the hardest thing in the world to watch.
Bryce said, I'm listening from Rezekne, which is in the eastern part of Latvia, hoping for the Raiders win and for the Russians not to invade. Okay, Bryce. Claire says, that game should never have ended. Great call, Brett and team. I'm glad it did end at some point because I'm cooked and I've missed my flight, Louis, so I'm going to carpool home with you tonight if that's okay. 0467.
What would an Uber cost, Dragon, for me?
What fun out. Cam from Carlo.
It would have been rude to walk out in that game and catch your flight.
I would have caught it for you.
Will I bill it to Tom Hall or Tim Beryl? Tommy Hall's here as well, our technical maestro.
Just by the way, they're probably most likely only going to get a 6-day turnaround now too. So most likely play on Saturday.
Do we have...
not yet. We don't have it. I've just had a check, but that's probably what's going to happen. They've played 95 minutes of football. They've had the guts ripped out of them, as well as physical problems, and they're going to be playing next Saturday. So, Canberra versus Cronulla, what a game. It's warming up, Louis.
It's warming up, all right. And I'll tell you what, I reckon the Sharks, especially the coaching staff, they would have been sitting there tonight going like this, just rubbing their hands together, going, just keep playing.
Listening in from Paris, let's go Broncos, says Anne and Seren from Brisbane. Ben in Tokyo, listening in his hotel room in Tokyo, about to go to what athletics championships, go the Raiders on your band, yes, and that continues as well. That's where Gat is racing, or as you called him, Bolt.
No, Bolt.
Forget Mudgee, could this be the miracle at Milk Stadium? Yeah, Broncos fans will talk about that for a long time. As Gromby said, this should be the grand final, and it may yet.
Imagine that was the actual grand final we just called. It'd be the grand final you never stop talking about.
You know that. Ponder this, Louis. 2 of the last 18 premiers have only one that have been week 1 losers. So that means Canberra have got little chance. Penrith and also I think Melbourne did it too, I think. But there's been 2 sides only in the last 18 seasons of week 1 losers, top 4 week 1 losers who are going to win the comp. So it's a really tough ask.
Well, when you think about it too, if you're in the top 4, the games are probably a little bit harder, right? And then you got to go back up again, which you probably win the next week maybe. And then you got to play again in that another.
Well, they're on the path to Melbourne now. So in week 3. So
it's going to be hard for them.
Yeah, unbelievable. Spriggsy, it's going to take 20 minutes to wrap up this game. What a call it was. Like we were there. You all need the week to recover. What's our turnaround, Ralph? We've worked that out yet. When we get the fixes, I think we've got NRLW in some capacity. Somewhere in the country will do NRLW on Friday night. And we'll have a big weekend, of course, as per usual. 0467920222. The Viking clap went off a bit early, and didn't it? Love an early crow that fails, says Shebman in Longreach. And g'day guys, what a top game tonight. Broncos have done the Panthers a favour by winning tonight. Now we need to beat Dogs at Stadium Australia before going up to Suncorp and beating the Broncos. We can still do this. 6 back-to-back grand finals is still doable. We'll go to Money Panthers, says cheers Tony. Everyone's just expressing their disbelief at what transpired here across 93 minutes on this increasingly cool Sunday evening in the nation's capital.
By the way, those two in the last 18 seasons, Louis, were Penrith and the Cowboys. And the irony there is that the grand final, it was South Sydney and Brisbane who beat them in week 1, and then they went on to beat them in the grand final. So anything can happen.
Hello guys, Nathan from Tassie. Yes stadium, yes team. Rugby league, that is. Love the call, what a game. Yeah, that's the big, obviously, stadium there for the AFL team, but there'll be big events going to Tassie, don't mind. A lot of our Tassie listeners text into the league coverage, which is fantastic. Steve at Gulgong says, great coverage of an amazing game. Reece Walsh is a genuine X factor. Why is the pressure on the kicker so bad? Asked Hilly and the Hunter. It's not like it's Ron Gibbs spewing in at the knees anymore. Oh, that
can cause an injury. I mean,
we've seen a few injuries that have happened as well.
We have, and it's unfortunate that pressure on kickers has just about been taken completely out of the game.
Gibbsy, Louis, confirmation. Finals week 2, semi-finals. First up Saturday night, 7:50 kickoff here. So 6 days from right now, the Raiders will host Cronulla Sutherland, the Sharks here at Canberra Stadium, and then the other semi-final is the 4:05 kickoff on Sunday at Stadium Australia, where the Bulldogs will face the Panthers. So there we go.
Is that on Sunday?
On Sunday. So that's a shorter turnaround for the Raiders as well. The Ricky Stewart presser will be appointment listing on it tonight.
He wrote every play. You know, I was sitting near where he was standing, and he couldn't look. And can you imagine? He would have been so proud when he thought Jed had set up that try with a bat back. But then when you looked at it, it was the right decision. It was touched by Jed Stewart as a knock on.
Just quickly, we'll have our wow moment of the weekend coming up. Around the grounds, New South Wales Cup second half. Eels 36, Raiders 30. So it could be another exciting finish coming up there. In fact, it's just gone full time. Raiders lose by 6 in the New South Wales Cup Finals week 2. AFLW fourth quarter, Freo 22 leads West Coast 16 in the International Women's Cricket. The first ODI, India v Australia in the pre-World Cup series. India are none 63 in the 9th over. So there you go. All right, it's time for our wow moment of the weekend.
Wow. Oh, that was crazy.
Thanks, Connor. All right, Gibbsy, you first. This will take some beating.
No, it won't. Recency bias, Ben Hunt's field goal to win 29-28.
There's so many things that happened tonight. You know what, but I'm going to go Toby Rudolph to score try.
Toby Rudolph, there we go, Cronulla bias. I like that. That Reece Walsh 40-20 from he was 30 out and it made touch a metre shy of the corner post. That was the best of his efforts tonight, and there were just so many wow moments in this game of footy. In the NRLW, the Warriors 44 beat West Tigers 6. Newcastle 30 beat St George Illawarra 22, and that top 6 is set. We'll await for coverage of those finals, and of course we'll have those covered for you right here on ABC Sport as well. The NRLW and of course NRL Finals week 2. Highlights coming up, and there are a lot of highlights, so I'll make sure we wrap things up here promptly after a few more of your texts. 0467920222. What a game it was, a roller coaster, but the better team won from Charlie in Far North Queensland. Go the Broncos. Ralphie's got something for me here, and it has just popped up. NRL confirming NRLW Week 1 finals, and that will be Saturday afternoon, Newcastle v Gold Coast under Stadium, and then that's 2:30 p.m, and then the Cowboys v Sharks at 4:15 p.m. on Saturday. So no Friday night game in any capacity of rugby league. No NRL or NRLW.
Well,
which is
after the extra time tonight, we need a rest.
Yeah, the Friday night was a bit tight.
I'm relieved in some ways, and anyway, so that's us done.
This is the first time there's ever going to be extra time in highlights.
This was the 5th biggest rugby league crowd ever at Canberra Stadium, which includes an Australia versus Kiwis test match in 2013. 25,523, and they witnessed all kinds of crazy moments, which you'll hear very, very shortly. 29-28, the Broncos winning here in the end. Thank you, Gibbsy. We'll see you next weekend.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great week.
Thank you, Luke Lewis. Don't go too far away.
Yeah, I'm about to go, so just wind it up, mate. But thank you for the
If
weekend.
you're heading to Sydney, if you haven't lived for an exhausted ABC broadcaster, then get me in your car, please, fans listening out there. Thank you, Ralph Tucker, our producer. Amazing job across this massive weekend, and it all brought to an amazing climax here at Canberra Stadium. Thank you, Dennis Carnahan. Commiserations as well to Dennis, and to Renell Moa, to Ned Hall, to Jared Ryan, and all of our team, and to you, most importantly, for living and breathing every tackle, kick, pass, every field goal in the 93rd minute with us here on ABC Sport. We'll do it again next weekend as the finals continue here on ABC Sport. Good night from Canberra.
ABC Sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Final Series.
Back to Walsh. Quick pass here, and now trying to get over the line and slamming it down. Katoni Staggs scores the first try. They swing it across left-hand side, and Staggs finds the first 4 points of the qualifying final. Back here again, Tarpley straightens toward the post. Carrigan is there, so too Pakes. Last play, Green Machine. 2 out from that southern line. Starling finds Bowman. He kicks off the outside left foot, and Hudson Young flies through and scores the try. Starling back here again now to Young. He puts in the kick with the shade there for Sebastian Kress, who falls on the footy and slides in to score. Canberra's go on the fence under all kinds of pressure. Fakes back to Hunt. Spreads it wide here. Staggs off to Mariner, who runs in, plants it down deep in that northeastern corner of Canberra Stadium, and the Broncos hit back. Now it's last play, Green Machine, 12 out centre field. Starling, it's a set restart here as Weeks explodes away, loses 1-2 and slides in behind the posts. They took full advantage of that, the Canberra Raiders. Weeks didn't need 6 more. Van Hunt run down, ball comes loose. Loose ball in by Weeks. The Raiders are away. He's over the 40, the halfway. They can't catch Kayo. And it's an open space here. D. Mariner's going after him. Kayo Weeks runs 95 and gives the Canberra Raiders some breathing space. Starling to Fogarty. Right to left they go. Strange through a gap as big as you like. Slams it down for the Canberra Raiders. Play to Pace. Carrigan's back out there as Gipsy said. Walters to Walsh. Left hand side. Walsh back on the inside. Blazes away. Takes on Weeks. Goes for the corner and scores a try. Welcome back, Reece Walsh. Pace. Flat ball to Walters. On to Walsh in close. Out to the wing where Karapani can finish. Not done yet. 30 out. Back here, Walsh early kick behind the 30. Weeks chasing it down towards that touchline. That's incredible from Reece Walsh. It cuts in just behind the corner post. That is the longest, most extraordinary 40-20 you will see. Carrigan, left-hand side shift. Van Hunt, Walters through the gap. Shibasaki. He scores in the corner. 28-24 with 7.5 minutes left. This game is off its head. They're setting up here, Louis. 32 out. Where's Reece Walsh? Pass comes to him. He's 42 out. Long range field goal. And it's on its way. And hits the crossbar. Comes back in the field of play. It's shades of 89. Balmain, Canberra. Raiders get the footy back. 20 out southern end.
This is a penalty. The penalty will be 10 metres in front of the post as the kicker on an attempted field goal.
10 metres out to level things up.
That's because we're the ball in.
Back on the kicker.
Oh, we're not done yet. This game deserved 10 more minutes. The Raiders fans hate it. Drop punt behind the air. Land 20 out. Sure cuts it back in for Hosking. On to Fogarty. And Fogarty streaks away and scores the game-winning try to cap off the most unbelievable qualifying final. Very bad and mean. And they'll host a prelim final here in a couple of weeks' time.
So hits the right finger of Jed Stewart first, then the hand of Josiah. The ball goes forward into the Broncos. The first knock on will be Canberra. We have a decision.
Wow.
He gets it right
So,
there.
the winning try for Fogarty disallowed, and it will remain at 28 points all. And now it is last play in fact. 35 out. Can they go field goal here? Scrooty finds Hunt, lined it up, 25 out on its way, and he has got it! Shaves up the right hand, that button goes in! The Broncos have stolen it! Disallowed developer, he tried the other end, and Ben Hunt, the veteran, ices it with a field goal, 29-28. It's the Broncos. Well, they say up the milk, but the cream rises to the top, and Ben Hunt is the qualifying final hero here.